everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Michael Damiani.
Heyo.
Michael Huber.
Hello.
And Brandon Jones.
I'm not Michael.
You're not a Michael.
It's just stupid Brandon over here.
No, you're not
dealing
stupid,
with this
Brandon. You're not
the
stupid.
potent Michaelness happening on this panel.
Double mics.
Michael 1. What is your goal this week?
I feel that is not. I don't like that, Kyle. Call me Michael 1. What is that?
You're the first of the two Michaels.
Oh, we're going by like order of closest to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could have said closest Michael
Closest
and furthest Michael.
Closest Michael, what is your
Instead
goal
of like
this week?
ranking us.
Yes.
My goal
Yes.
is to not utter the word amiibo during this entire podcast.
Ooh, I like that.
That's excellent.
Furthest Michael, what is your goal this week?
To finish all of these fluids in front of me.
Great. Feeling a
your
little
health.
under the weather, but
Yeah.
and some intense yellow tea.
Amanda
Thick
made
yellow
me
tea.
this like ancient remedy
Yeah.
of ginger tea, cayenne pepper, honey. It's out of control. It's really spicy. So if you see me take a sip, and it's because it's spicy.
But the thing is, I trust Amanda so much because he's a voice actor.
Yeah.
And like, just like that voice is like
I
her.
feel like cleaner right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandon Jones, what is your goal this week?
To wish y'all a happy new year at some point.
Nice.
Okay.
At some point.
My goal this week is to not fall over. I had a few
Metaphorically?
podcasts. No. I'm just like, sometimes I just like flop over in the middle of a podcast. It's the freakiest thing. And so I'm going to try to stay seated this time.
I have no memory of this.
We weren't on those podcasts.
Yeah,
Okay.
you kind of keep them alive for some reason. It's weird.
Damiani is my stone.
Yeah.
Begin corrections music, please. Oh, we're not doing end corrections music.
Oh, is that a record?
Yes.
Excellent.
Everyone,
We made no mistakes.
we recorded this podcast a week ago. This is recorded in the past. We had to, of course, do that on account of the holidays. So yeah, no corrections from
I
last
should
week.
have thought of something. I should have looked up something and
Oh, that happened over the last
inserted
time?
my own correction.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Just so we're all clear, and we'll be back with new episodes next week. Let's explain this episode then, I guess. This is 2017 year review. Not year in review. We are reviewing the year 2017. At the end of this podcast, we're giving it a score.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoa.
wow.
High stakes.
High stakes. Yeah, because that's like official.
Stars, numbers, what's the scoring?
I was thinking stars, but I always like numbers more. If you all want to do numbers,
I like doing numbers. Every time we do something that's not games,
Yes.
I'm cool to bring the numbers
Okay,
back.
we're doing numbers. We're doing a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
Decimals allowed.
Okay.
But we all have to agree upon it. That's the tricky
Oh,
part. Yes.
so all four of us going to come to consensus.
So the biggest things I like to talk about when looking at a year of video games is hardware. If we got hardware launches, I want to talk about it. Obviously, the biggest piece of hardware that launched this year is the most powerful video game console of all time, the Xbox One X.
Making headlines.
Making headlines. You know what? That was a troll thing, but let's talk about Xbox One X first. Let's do it chronologically.
Oh my god.
No.
On January 13th of this year, we watched a big live stream. Nintendo revealed the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up until that point, we had seen a very cool Imagine Dragons video. We had seen Zelda. We had seen flashes of Mario Kart. But this was the event. Koizumi taught us what HD Rumble is.
Milk
Milk debuted.
was shown.
Milk was shown. Milk leaked. We believed, and milk was shown. Then it launched on March 3rd to great success. This is a huge year for the Switch.
It's the Switch's year.
It's the Switch's year.
It's the Switch's year. It came out. It launched.
Yep.
It righted the wrong that was the Wii U.
Yes.
I would say the Wii U.
Huber's not a Wii U fan.
I'm not a Wii U fan.
Yep.
And I think the numbers will back me up on that. The Wii U was not very successful.
right.
The Switch has almost outsold the
Yes.
Wii U, and
Yes.
it hasn't even been out that long.
Not even a year.
So Nintendo got it right with the Switch.
Yeah. They got it right with that Switch. Here's a weird thing. Jones, I'll pose this to you. Nintendo doesn't win E3 too much. But last year got a bunch of Game of E3 awards for Zelda. This year, bunch of Game of E3 awards for Mario. And they're showing up at E3 now. And in a year that I think was kind of weak for Microsoft, for Sony, for third parties, Nintendo showed up huge at E3. Do you think Nintendo's just like an E3 contender now when it comes to excitement of announcements?
Oh, definitely. I mean, when we talk about E3 specifically, it's everything. It's the booth. It's what gameplay you're showing. It's the fact that they do the treehouse, and so they can not only just reveal more information about the game, but then you can see how it actually works. So many stations just showing off one game, and so Nintendo really shook up. I mean, you can see the GIF of me like applauding at their booth. Like they've really like shaken up my concept of like what one person that makes games, one company should bring to E3 and show off. I mean, obviously there's more things. They made more announcements this year, I believe, than they made in 2016. 2016, I think it was really just Zelda and like a couple of other things.
Oh yeah,
where they made Samus Returns. We didn't find out until after their presentation was over. And so yeah, I think it's obviously you have to have a good game. Like if Odyssey wasn't good this year, that would have seemed a little desperate that they're like putting all of their eggs in one basket. Mm-hmm. But I think those were two games that I think, a high-ranking executive making a lot of scary financial decisions down to somebody who's working on sound effects or perfecting the controls or something. I think all of the people on those sides and in between knew those were two really good games. And so knew those were games that Nintendo could go into E3 with confidence, showing it off. I don't know if it's something you can sustain. I wonder... I think Metroid can maybe hold its own at an E3 by itself. I think that has enough nostalgic power to support that company, be their like primary target for E3. Outside of that, I don't know. I don't think a Pikmin does that. I don't know if, as much as I love Animal Crossing, I don't know if it has that wide of a reach to please everybody.
I hear you, Jones. I feel though when we're preparing for E3 of this year, of 2018, we're going to be saying who can take down Nintendo, who can beat Nintendo this year. Which is weird. It's weird for them to ever be in that position. They haven't been. And it's good 2017, as Huber said. One other console release I want to talk about related to Nintendo. Not necessarily a console, not necessarily a big deal and big hardware deal, but they sold like bonkers, is the Super Nintendo Classic. That released on September 29th, heavily rumored before its official announcement. I don't think they even announced it at E3. I think it was after E3 they announced this thing. But we had already kind of knew it existed, even coming into E3. And released to great success, included Star Fox 2 on that thing. Crazy. Damiani, you reviewed Star Fox 2, right? Mm-hmm. What'd you think of that?
Awesome review.
Yeah. That was a difficult review because I didn't know how. I honestly couldn't come to terms with how to review it. Like, I saw people would get upset if I tried to review it as a game released now, which is kind of what I lean towards. Yeah. And I tried to temper, like, I didn't want to review it as if it was released in 1996, or like when it was supposed to come out.
Which would be pretty good.
It would have been okay, but like a lot of people pointed out to me that Panzer Dragoon came out before what would have been before Star Fox 2 was released. And everyone's like, Panzer Dragoon looks way better than Star Fox 2. Like it like visually,
it's way better hardware.
But it's also, fair enough. Yeah, but like it would have been a bad release for them. Like it would have like people have been like, why does this look so bad? Like compared to what the contemporaries.
Which was Miyamoto's concern.
And it was basically my conclusion was it was good that they canceled it or pushed everything to future games because of its proximity to Super Mario 60 or N64 and Super Mario 64 and what contemporary games coming out.
Yeah.
But like the hardest part of it, like it's nice that they release it. Don't get me wrong. It's excellent that everyone can now play it.
Yeah.
But asking someone to ignore almost 20 years of game development and history and being like, you ignore all the other Star Fox games that came out and then review it like they never came out and this was before. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't like playing revisionist history like that. So I do, for anyone who has wanted to know, like, Damiani, why did you review it so harshly? Why did you come in at that angle? There you go. Like, I didn't feel comfortable reviewing it as a what if. I reviewed it as
a new game
with, and I tried to temper it as much as possible with, lowered expectations because I know this is like a 20-year-old game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into it, but I think some of its limitations probably would have caused it to be viewed a little bit roughly back in 1996. But it had some nice features in there.
I think it would have been big, dude. I really do.
I think the original Star Fox is really short too.
Yeah.
But I think the more heavy narrative focus not narrative focused, but the branching paths, like having linearity to it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think that works better in Star Fox, where each level you can maybe trigger a hidden path to go to a different course.
And in Star Fox 2, you can go anywhere on the map.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
And
yeah.
it's very radically different. But I think Star Fox 64, you saw people liked it. It reviewed pretty well. It sold pretty well. The original Star Fox 64. When it was re-released on 3DS, it was like, wow, this hasn't aged very well. But I mean, it came out in '97. What do you expect?
Yep. Anyway, I think it was really cool. A long forgotten game was released on this console.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like definitely worth it to play it and check
Super
it out.
Nintendo Classic is just an incredible product.
And just a crazy 1-2 punch for Nintendo yet again. You know, the new Switch and the Super Nintendo from the past releasing.
Yeah.
You know, kind of flanking two sides of the year too, like March and I mean they were just firing on all cylinders.
They flanked us.
Yeah.
Finally, I really do want to talk about the Xbox One X. This was interesting. This was Project Scorpio up until E3 of this year. It was announced at E3 of last year, E3 of 2016. It was announced as Project Scorpio, and that name stuck for a long time. I want to talk about the reveal of the Xbox One X because it didn't actually happen at E3 as the Wikipedia article might entail. It happened before that. Digital Foundry talked about the specs, and at that point it was still Project Scorpio, but I really thought this was an interesting part of the story. I really thought that was a good call to go to Digital Foundry, to have them come over, look at the machine, and just reveal the specs, reveal what this machine actually is from a source who truly cares about these things, who publishes these things and makes all those comparisons.
Sign
Then-
of confidence too.
Yes.
By opening the doors to Digital Foundry.
Who, you know, is right now making videos about like Xbox One X comparison videos. They got to do all that, and so they're the people to show it to. I always thought that was really cool. And then, of course, yes, at E3, people were wearing the shirt that said, "I witnessed the most powerful games console of all time." And they witnessed it.
Such a buzz thing to say.
I know.
It's like it's such a marketing
It's
phrase.
so-
I mean,
Is it not true?
It is, but
Is it not true?
it is true. It will be true
Technically.
for how long?
I mean, a PC is a game console.
Yeah, like and yeah, and then
No,
like
it's
PC.
not.
I mean,
I buy a PC to play games.
it's not technically a console,
so-
no, but
Must be nice.
like this it always changes. The title always changes. It's just it was just whatever. I mean, clever. Like sure, yes, because everyone's
Yes.
gonna be talking about that, and yes, it is technically true right now. So you know. Why not? I get it. Why not push your greatest strength? You'd be kind of like an idiot not to push that. So I get it. I get it. I do get it.
Yeah, and it is out now. That was released November 7th. It was released on November 7th of this year.
And I am pretty envious of it because, you know, the 4K media player is a big thing. And PlayStation 4 Pro does not have that.
One S has a 4K media player.
Yeah, and that's crazy to me. You know, I have an Xbox One regular, so I'm obviously not going to double dip. But depending on when PS5 actually comes out, you know, if PS5 doesn't come out until like 2020 or something, then Xbox One X having true 4K is going to be a big deal moving forward.
I think what we're finding though, Huber, Xbox One X having true 4K is not a feature with many games.
True.
Once we get to the realities of the games that are being put out right now, we're not finding it with every game.
For media, it's like important, you know,
Oh,
for
yeah.
movies and stuff.
But like first party games like Forza 7, you got that 4K, baby. Gears of War, you got 4K.
Yeah.
And so I think any new huge release will be 4K, but I think some of these earlier ports, some are struggling.
yeah.
I want to say one of the biggest draws to me that might eventually convince me to buy one at some point. Yeah, I want the price to go down at some point, but that would be nice. The enhancing older games, the backwards
Yeah.
compatibility
Yes.
factor.
Yes.
Seeing the Mirror's Edge, original Mirror's Edge,
Right.
being the treatment they did with that it gets on there. I was like, okay, this is a very good reason at some point to ditch my 360, which you should probably not be holding in your 360 at this point, and upgrading to this system, which if I want, I could play games at some point. Like Huber said, if PS5 doesn't come forever, for whatever reason, I decide never to upgrade my PC in the next few years, this will play the best looking stuff on console for a year, at least a year or two. But also all my old libraries, I have a lot of 360 games. A lot of those will look and play better on Xbox One.
When Xbox One X was announced, I sat here and we talked about third-party games. And
Yes.
what did we bring up? Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
That is so dangerously close. When they start showing that game off next year, and they start doing side by sides, or like, yo, Xbox One X has this in red, like more, like even little things like what they did with GTA 5 Remastered, like more traffic, more foliage, like more animals, like that stuff matters. Like if Xbox One X has something like that, where it's like, yo, on Xbox, you know, we have better lighting and more wildlife and more weather, like.
What they say in the commercials,
It's a big sell.
I like the phrase at the end of the commercials, Huber. They say plays best on Xbox One X.
Yep.
I think that's really, they do that
Smart.
thing like the Madden commercials.
Yeah.
That will be true for Red Dead as well, because that won't come out on PC right away.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah, so there'll be a
Red Dead
big
is the
window
biggest deal.
where Xbox One X will be. There
Yeah.
you go. There's actually one big thing that
huge.
Microsoft can push next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny, Huber, in that I think the Xbox One X would have been a bigger deal this year. Jones, back me up on this if you believe it, if Red Dead made it. Red Dead did not make it this year. It was supposed to come out this year. It was pushed outside of this year. Yeah. Would the Xbox One X have been a bigger deal if that game made it out this year?
A slightly bigger deal, yeah. That would have been an interesting case study. But to me, I think one of the things that's fascinating about 2017 is this direct opposition of the Xbox One X and a Switch.
Oh, sure.
You know, having this console that does not claim to be the best looking console, that are releasing games where it's like obviously something will look better on Xbox One X than a Zelda or a Mario Odyssey.
Or a Doom on Switch.
Yeah. But it's that question of what, like, for Huber, he says that's really important, like having that extra person or having these little tiny details. For me as a giant Red Dead fan, it's not as important. So it's interesting to compare people that are more excited because this console can make console games look better than they possibly can versus me who's wondering, like, what are some of these maybe rare indie gems or like some old PC games or stuff that I didn't get a chance to play that are now coming to Switch, you know, and, you know, it's interesting the industry is now open for both of these things. It would seem like one would win and beat the other.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that we're kind of pursuing both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
The more, and not to just go back to the Switch, but like the more I think about the Switch, I think about the Nintendo's not making consoles anymore. They basically just upped their handheld game.
Yeah.
And the Switch
hear
is
you.
just like the best handheld they've ever made. And the Wii U is like their last console.
I'll
They're like,
disagree with it,
now
Jones.
we're investing in this thing you can always take with you.
I'll disagree because they're also working on online. They want you to plug it in and play online games. It's still a console. They still want you to plug it in and play it on your TV a bunch.
But the idea of like having a portable Nintendo console playable on a television is years old. Years. That's gone back a while. It's really just streamlined now.
Yeah.
That it's so easy.
And you're right, because your 3DS can play online too, so it's not really a distinction. Yeah. And Jones, you bring up a great point in that the Xbox One X has sold well, Switch has sold well, PlayStation 4 has sold well. Everybody sold well this year. It was a huge year for hardware sales.
Gamers won 2017.
Yeah. Hey. And I mean, we're reviewing the year. We're going to have to keep that in mind. I do want to talk about the best reviewed games of the year. And so basically what I did here, I went to OpenCritic and I just looked at like the games that had the highest score.
Exciting.
I just kind of like plucked some out because some of them like don't make sense really in accordance to this list. Mario's number one. Mario's the best reviewed game of the year. Super Mario Odyssey, a 3D platformer, kind of exploration based. Just it happened. It came out and it was very well reviewed. But that wasn't all. Zelda, Breath of the Wild, number 2, best reviewed game of the year. It's crazy how well reviewed these games are. I used to think that like we wouldn't crack 95 anymore on Metacritic or OpenCritic in this case. Like I used to think that was not possible, but they're just like, "No, we got this." Home run.
It's crazy. It's
crazy.
Like it's one thing to launch a console
Yeah.
and have it be awesome, like an awesome piece of hardware that is the Switch. You can take it anywhere. But to have the games to back it up too in its first year. Not even a year has gone by. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
You ready for more crazy?
Yeah.
Third highest reviewed game? Persona 5.
Actually checking the stats. Wow, there it is.
Yeah,
There they
number
are.
three?
Fun? Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that fun though? Persona 5 showing up?
Easy Allies 5 stars, baby. Helping it out.
Probably contributed.
Yeah,
Probably
Ben.
contributed to that.
Yeah.
Persona 5 is a long JRPG about some kids in high school
Here we go.
going about their daily lives and then being heroes in a dream realm.
And Hero's Too Cool for Kyle.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think, like, it's worth noting how huge this game is this year. It's worth noting. Like
Nominated for a
Persona
Game
4
Award.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yes.
Persona's always gotten nods in the past, but I don't think it has reached this kind of like critical mass.
It hasn't. It
That,
definitely hasn't.
Like Persona has become like one of the premier.
Same with
game
Yakuza,
series.
dude. Like
Oh
this
yeah,
year, man.
Nier and Yakuza and
Nier.
Gravity Rush, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of games like this.
Okay, yeah, a
that
lot
I'm
of
used
these-
to. I'm used to hearing about because I work in this industry.
Yeah.
and because I'm connected to people like Ben or people like Damiani or people like that. Like, no, this actually was fun, or you know, I get all these review scripts in because I read them all, and so every now and then I'm like, oh, neat, that game was maybe better than I was expecting, or I didn't really understand what was so special about that game.
Yes.
And it seems like the industry has really taken note.
Yeah, and I honestly do feel, I know a lot of people say Persona 4 is better. I just feel like this is,
Wait, people say that?
yes.
People really love
Whoa.
Persona 4.
I love Persona 4. I love
But you
Persona
would
5.
still say 5 is better? I just
Yeah,
feel
it's
like, I feel like it's just like, it just clicks better. I think it might be, I understand there are probably aspects of 4 that are better, but I feel like 5 is just a better game.
I think so.
Like Nier Automata is a better game than Nier. No one would question that.
Sure.
that wasn't that hard
Breath
to
of the
do.
Wild is a better
Yes.
game than Skyward Sword. It just, you know.
Yes,
jeez.
Jones.
It's hard for me to refute it, Jones. It's rude.
What was the last like
That's not
actual
rude.
official Mario? Like,
That's
what did
not
Odyssey
rude.
usurp? What was it? New Super Mario Brothers?
No,
for the,
Super
it's
Mario 3D World.
3D World for the Wii.
Yeah.
That was what I got. What came with my Wii U. That
Oh
game,
yeah,
right.
that's the one.
I
With the
mean,
cats.
News.
The
yeah.
Meow Meow Mario. Got it.
Yes. Some people say it's not fair to compare those two, that they're of a different lineage, but yeah, it's complicated.
They're a different time period of Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's what was so crazy about Zelda and Mario. Then it's just like, wow, they're really going to turn Zelda on its head and make a totally different Zelda game? Well, we'll see. And they're like, oh, really? They're going to go back to the roots of Mario? We'll see. And like, yes, both.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, Damiani, do you think the next Zelda, or do you think another like mainline Switch Zelda could ever be top down again?
Oh, I mean,
Like
I mean,
not
do you
Link, not Link Between Worlds on handheld, like a
Oh.
big budget.
The answer is no.
No.
Like
The
3D
answer
dot
is no.
game heroes.
you're gonna get another. You'd either get another Link Between Worlds style game, or you'd get the lower budget 3D one, which would be like a Grezzo style Ocarina of Time 3D Majora's Mask 3D type game.
Yeah.
where it's not pushing for open world. It'd be. I would like to see an alternation of the open air concept of Zelda.
Yeah.
One team working on that, another working on the more old school traditional Zelda to keep everyone happy.
That'd be so cool.
Another one of the best reviewed games of the year, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Nice.
Try it out.
Big
Haven't
game.
touched
Yeah.
it.
It's just such an interesting, it just exists in such an interesting space. I feel like the game is allowed to exist today.
Thank you, Kickstarter.
Yes. Thank you,
Love you.
Kickstarter.
Love you,
Absolutely.
Kickstarter.
Yeah. People are allowed to say, I love this kind of game, I support this kind of game, and when it comes out,
Yep.
again, it reaches critical
People are
success.
allowed to say, "We want it.
Yeah.
We got it."
Yeah.
So good.
It's a beautiful thing. It makes me very, very excited. I'm gonna skip Mario Kart 8. Should we talk about it as one of the big games of the year? I mean, it's crazy. It's up here with one of these best reviewed games.
A lot of people missed it the first time around.
Yeah.
You know, I love remasters and repackaging games. Like, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Mario Kart is like statistically one of the best selling franchises on the new Nintendo systems. Usually, it's bigger than Zelda. Usually,
Yeah.
I mean, it should be
Always.
Yeah, should
Yeah.
always be. I think the only exception might have been Super Nintendo, maybe. But yeah, like that should be talked about. The fact
Okay.
that it could come out and it's the second best selling game of the year behind Zelda
On the Switch.
on Switch. Sorry, yes, on Switch. That's pretty impressive. Like how many like it
for a
is-
re-release.
Yeah, for a re-release,
Yeah.
and it just goes to show how much Nintendo's done right with the Switch. The missed opportunities with the Wii U that people passed up on it the first time. That a lot of people didn't get to experience it. It wasn't as simple as like I love some remasters too. So, but like Uncharted, I don't feel like a lot of people missed out on any of the unremastered versions of Uncharted the first time.
When the remasters came out, people were like, "Oh, I never got to play one." That was like the most.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That's
everyone
what I
in
did,
the
actually.
Yeah.
We talked about Nier Automata. I think it's so cool that game was published. It's just a really cool collaboration. It makes me so excited that Platinum got involved.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, I always want to say, like, during, like, my stream, I know people got, like, angry at some of my, like, reactions to things in that game.
Yeah.
But the truth is, regardless of how I feel about that game, it is really good that Square Enix believed in Yoko Taro.
Yes.
To give him the bigger budget to make this type of game, to
Yep.
deliver this type of game after everything else he's made, because his stuff has, like a good cult following, but hasn't translated to sales success. So seeing this game get reviewed well, but also sales success.
Yeah.
Like even if
Feel good story.
even if
Yeah.
it wasn't my favorite game of the year, I still want to see what he can do. I think there's room for I think there's room to improve on Nier Automata.
Absolutely.
I want to see what he does in his next game because I think he can only go up.
And they've already started. Work.
Yeah,
they
have more faith
yeah.
in him, and they're
Yeah.
gonna give him more resources. And he's just like so insane right now. Posting he has Instagram account now where he posts dogs left outside of shops in
Yeah,
Japan.
I saw that.
That's funny.
Just taking
Sad
photos.
dogs.
He's doing that. You see his thing about Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. He says like he wrote
Yes,
what his
he says some funny stuff
his
about that, yeah.
interpretation about the state of humanity and stuff. He wanted to burn it all down.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Really good stuff.
his
Really
helmet
interesting person
thing.
to
It's
follow.
like, yeah, like they need to give Yoko Taro much more love.
Another huge game this year. It's a story. Horizon Zero Dawn was released this year. This is Guerrilla Games' first ever RPG, first ever non-Killzone game, I think.
Yeah, what just they should have been making third-person shooters this whole time.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about that the other day. Right, just never really got into Killzone, and I can't believe how not into Killzone I was, and how into Horizon I am now.
Yeah.
How Horizon 2 is very, very near the top of my anticipation list for just
hold
the
on.
future.
Yeah, come on, Jones. It's years away, right?
Oh, I hope not. I'm ready.
You just played Frozen Wild.
Yeah,
and you're like,
ready.
more.
Horizon 2 next year coming out
Just finishing your cake and like next week.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
at the buffet line.
Yeah.
Horizon 2, please.
Brutal, Jones. But yeah, it's such an impressive game, such an impressive turnaround for them. I shouldn't say turnaround like the Killzone games were bad, but just to see this come from that studio is so impressive.
Switching to such a different style of game.
Yes.
And
Really like
it being so good.
Really like the combat in that game.
So
Really
solid.
surprised
Feels
me.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time with that, you get so good at that
Yeah.
bow and arrow. It's all about like really pinpoint accuracy, learning your enemies.
The
like
arrow, like the bolt thing
Yeah.
where you like
Oh.
stick them down. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so many different strategies. Some friends of mine are just playing it, and I went over to their house to hang out, and they were like, "We're just playing Horizon. Is that okay?" And I was like, "Please." And a lot of times, because they knew I'd beaten it, a lot of times they would turn and be like, "What am I supposed to do here?" And I'm like, "There really isn't a strategy. Like, there's not like, oh, you do this thing with this monster, and then you automatically
Yeah.
win." It's like, I don't know. You set up your tiny little traps. You can, like pin it to the ground and focus on another person.
I love
You can
using a weapon
Go
that
stealth
flops
and
off
sneak
of
up
them.
on them, or yeah.
Those like
yeah,
arrows.
yeah.
So good.
The stalkers are one of my favorite enemies in video games. Period. They're so cool. I love.
Those are
The little
saber-tooths?
They're the predator things.
Oh,
so those
the
guys that
invisible
stealth.
saber-tooths,
I love
yeah.
when they lose you. They get like visibly upset. Like they'll just kind of wander around where they think you are and just drop mines. You're like, whoa. Like if they think you're in a bush but they don't know where you are, they'll just start firing at it and just hope they hit you. I love that.
I think I don't want to go too into this, but it's a thought I just thought of when I'm thinking of Horizon. As opposed to Zelda, I think Horizon pays off on the what happened here. It's very similar.
Sure. Oh,
you're-
story-wise, definitely.
You're in a scenario where something happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think Horizon, you actually learn interesting things along the way of what happened here.
Yeah.
And I think it's a huge payoff.
Especially near the end. If
Yeah.
you're about halfway through Horizon and you
Yeah.
just need that extra oomph to get to the end,
Yeah.
finish that game.
It's cool.
The best is yet to come.
I really like that element of it. Hollow Knight is a game that was well reviewed. I've not played yet. I need to play this.
They
This
showed
is-
some.
this is
They
my-
showed some vignettes of this at the Game Awards. I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, that crazy level! Look at that!" I hope
Yeah.
it wasn't spoilery, but
Don't
like,
skip.
woo,
Yeah.
yeah,
And more. Preach
the
it.
original Don't Skip. Yeah,
Lone Echo, best reviewed VR game. Have not played it.
Oculus exclusive. Yeah,
Yeah.
got the PSVR and the vibe, but played Echo Arena, which is just a mode in there. And I remember going in, they were like, "It's a little like Ender's Game," and I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna vomit all over my face playing this."
Oh, that game.
Felt so good, loved it. Could even just playing for like 10 minutes or develop little strategies and get used to the movement of that. And that was just like a mini game in Lone Echo. So
What do we think of VR as a whole in 2017? Ooh, go ahead, Hubert.
Resident Evil 7 is what I think. Of
What does that
VR.
mean? What happened?
Resident Evil came out this year,
Uh-huh.
and it supported PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And
entirely?
Entirely.
it fulfilled my
finish.
wildest dreams, man. Being in a haunted house, basically, in VR,
Yeah.
was just it was a dream come true. You know, like there's one thing playing Resident Evil, like walking through the halls and like a monster comes around the corner. But when you're in VR and you are there and you feel things moving. You know, you feel a monster down the hall. You don't
yeah.
know he's there, but you feel him coming, and then he comes around the corner, or you hear something upstairs. Like, it just brought a whole new level to what horror can be.
Yeah, I think that a lot of this year, it's been a lot of just like, oh, that was cute. That was cute. With VR games, you know what I mean? Oh, it's cute. But Resident Evil 7 is a game. That's a full-on game. You don't need VR to play that game. That's just a full regular game that is also, for some reason, cross-compatible with VR.
Yeah.
That's great.
Crazy.
Yeah, Skyrim this year also is just like, this is the whole game in VR. And I wonder if that will continue. I would say that trend began this year. I wonder if we'll see that continue. The entire game is playable in VR, as opposed to, and there's a special VR mode.
The re-release of Second Runner and Zone of the Enders.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing that as well.
Yep.
The VR one.
I wonder at the end of the day how well Star Trek sold across
Me
the board.
too.
I wonder what it sold most
Bridge Crew.
on.
Star Trek Bridge Crew, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it sold most on PSVR.
Yeah, I wonder that
Or
too.
if people were really hunting that down on Oculus or Vive. That was incredible, though. That was so.
what was that? That's a game that
how,
came out this
how
year.
quickly you can team up with people, like how fast you can find a party because there were 3 different platforms all playing together.
That's great.
How true to Star Trek that was,
Yes.
almost to a fault.
Yeah.
The pace of it is just real slow, but just how much it embraced. That was the kind of game I would have conceived of in like 6th grade, and they made it. You know,
Yeah.
like it just wouldn't seem. It seemed like that wouldn't get out of the pitch room. That they'd be like, it's a really neat idea what you just suggested. But I mean, who's gonna buy that really? You know. And so it's exciting to see we're at that point in VR where Vive and Oculus and Sony can play nice.
Yeah, it's weird. In Star Trek, they're like, move power to shields. And it's just such an interesting activity to actually do that. Yeah, let's move our power to shields. That rules. Let's protect this part of our ship. Let's shoot that thing. Yeah, that's a fun
Seriously,
game.
you're Star Trek ship drive.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I would have been fine with a VR tour of a bunch of different like Starfleet or this like Star Trek.
Still
universe
waiting on
ships.
stuff like that.
Just
yeah.
like walk through them
Yeah.
in VR.
Yeah, or
and
like
see them.
even like real world places, like tour the world in VR, man. Let me go to Tokyo in VR
Yeah.
and just like
Oh, you can do that. We did it on Google Earth.
Waiting for that big Google Earth update.
Yeah, you're
Whenever,
right. It was
whenever
a
they
little
announced that,
chunky.
we're like,
Yeah.
oh, we added a bunch of new stuff to
It was a
Google
little
Earth.
chunky.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll break it out and jump in.
Yeah, that was really cool. What Remains of Edith Finch came out this year. Just incredible indie game. Love it to death. Just a highlight, a definite highlight. Stoked on that. Cuphead came out this year. Let's talk about Cuphead for a second because I think this game is an achievement. This game, if you haven't heard of Cuphead, has an old school animation style. Sticks to it with all its heart. Doesn't cheat. Doesn't cheat for a second. Does not bend a frame. Every single frame of animation was hand drawn in this, and it all correlates. It all matches. Actually, there are some really cool backgrounds that are kind of like old Popeyes, where they're like miniatures and clay stuff. There's like some stuff like that. Just
technical marvel.
a technical marvel. This game has been in development for a long time. There was a point in which this game was just a boss rush game. And then they just kept working on it. And what I think they released this year, which has some platforming levels, and it's intensely hard, I think in this case, putting it back in the oven was the best thing. I think this
Smart.
game is
A lot of people
like,
took their time this year and it paid off.
yes.
There
I wonder-
wasn't a lot of like, oh, finally, that I think even something like A Last Guardian or Final Fantasy 15 last year, like,
Those were all
it was hard to
finally.
shake that vibe of
Yeah.
like, it took a long time to finally get where we are.
Like, the quality obviously is way better than it would have been, but I wonder what the numbers are there of like if they had released it, how much would they have sold versus like how much it cost for them to put it back in the oven and keep working on it and putting all that money into it
I think in this
to
case,
releasing it again.
I
Yeah.
think in this case it was good, Huber.
Yeah.
I think it would have been poorly reviewed if it were only bosses. I honestly think, I know it sounds so dumb, but adding platforming levels adds this variety to the
Totally.
package
Much
that just
needed.
makes it feel like this world. It makes
Yeah.
it feel like this adventure. I think it was the right call. It's Cuphead is so cool. It's so cool that game came out this year.
It has 2 very different difficulty modes, probably more than that. Doesn't it have a scale
They
of
just got
difficulty?
easy and hard, man.
Easy and hard. I like how easy is. You're the adult. You want to show it to your kid. Play with them for a little bit. They can just get to the fun parts.
Yeah.
But then obviously, like the hard mode for people that want to stress themselves out.
And you will
Yeah.
stress. It is a hard game.
I didn't see a lot of people on social media be like, I thought it was easy. Pretty much everybody was pulling their hair out with this
oh
game.
yeah. Anybody
that was
says
nice.
it's easy is lying. They're lying.
Yeah.
Neo came out this year.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool?
The game that probably pains me the most in my backlog. I love that friends of mine finally got it. Their PS4 broke a long time ago, and they finally just like bought a new one. And so like I'm getting texts a lot where they're just like, "This was good, right? Mass Effect. Did they fix that? What? Just like do little updates."
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And when I got that text, it's like Neo was good, right? I like wrote a paragraph. I was like, "Yes, I don't." Oh, like,
So your
just
friend
filled me with
bought
so
Neo?
much guilt that I've never,
Yeah.
And
Finally
certainly
got
over the
it.
holidays, I'm going to be playing Persona and Divinity probably. And,
Sure.
Finally got a feudal Japan game, and I sat on it.
Right?
Yeah.
It just came out at a bad time.
Yeah.
And I was so soulsed out by then with all the Dark Souls DLC and
Sure.
all like finished all that over the last couple years, and I just like needed to step back.
I mean, it's worth calling this game a Souls game.
It is.
It is
It is
absolutely
100%
yeah.
a Souls game.
And we realize it's been in development for a long time. The game that released is a Souls game.
It is.
Yes, but I think differentiates itself enough to be its own game, to be its own franchise, and I just think it's a really interesting release this year.
I can't tell if I played the demos too much. I know I ruined this game for me because I played the demos too much.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's okay or if I should have dialed back on the demos and just waited. And I wonder if I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I do not have any ill feelings towards Neo at all. I don't think had the staying power when the game finally launched because I put like 30 hours
But Jones, I think
cumulatively
just
in those demos.
as someone who has to be on a podcast and talk about video games, I think you know enough about Neo to speak to it. Mm-hmm. So I think you did fine. Yeah, it's okay.
I'll have to go back though.
Maybe Neo 2. SteamWorld Dig 2 is up there. Wow,
Yeah.
that thing's just well reviewed. That
It's like the Easy Allies secret. It's
one of my favorite games of the year.
Goatee right here.
Hands
Goatee.
down.
Sneaks in
It
somehow.
is.
Sneak Goatee right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I honestly want this nominated for a Goaties.
Really?
I really do.
You're that positive on this game.
I am obsessed with this game. I love this game.
Why?
I love this game.
Why? It's just a 2D platformer.
Vibes. No,
Vibes.
it's got design, level design, like
Yep.
that classic Metroidvania, get an item, and like every time you get an item in this game, it completely changes the way you interact with the entire game. And they do that like 7 times. It's like you get this, and then like all these possibilities open up. Combat's really cool. The music is great. It's got a top tier economy.
Good economy.
Great economy.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really cool. Like it ties into SteamWorld Heist and SteamWorld Dig 1 a little bit, which is really cool. And don't skip it. Please don't skip that
Wow,
game.
that's an official don't skip from Michael Huber.
Love it. Oh, that game's so good.
I really want to talk about this next game
Empowering.
a lot.
You feel powerful by the end of that game.
yeah.
You do.
Takes a while to get there, though.
Night and day. By the time you're done and you get the last thing, you're just like,
And I love
I
that.
own this game.
'Cause, yeah, Jones, it's not just owning enemies. It's not just beating enemies quickly. It is traversing quickly.
Yeah.
And digging faster. And just, you feel like you own the
And-
map.
One of my favorite things in games,
that?
if you 100% it, you get rewarded with something really cool. It's worth it. And I love when games do that.
Yes.
When you are rewarded for doing all the optional stuff in a meaningful way.
I
Yeah.
did not. Yeah, I still
Yeah.
got to catch up and do that. But I think it's the difference between getting a power and ability like that and being like, oh, there was that place back in the beginning. I should probably go back there. Versus, I want to go back to that area. I can't wait. Like that first
Yes.
area you go through,
Yeah.
like the introduction. Where you're like, this is just the intro road before I get to the town.
Oh, and
There were like
oh,
3 or
baby.
4 moments in that game where it was like, I'm going back.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Yeah.
I do. I love it when games hide their, I'm going back. And you're like, that thing back there.
Yeah.
I love that. This next game, we've talked about it on this podcast a lot this year. I'm just fascinated by this game. Injustice 2 reviewed very well this year. Injustice 2 is a fighting game starring DC characters from NetherRealm Studios.
One of the best story modes in a fighting game
Such good humor.
ever.
Really
Humor,
good humor.
you're right, Jones. Nice thing to point out. It was funny.
But just great like asides. Like they get Green Arrow and they go up to fight Bane.
Yeah.
And he's just like, let's snip his tubes. And Green Arrow's like, ouch.
Yeah.
And it's like little, so
That's
good.
You're right. That's perfect. What's up?
Should
What?
NetherRealm
I was
write
just,
the
they should.
DC movies?
Honestly, they should. Honestly, I'm not even trolling. They should.
It's a better Justice League story than the movie we saw.
Jeez.
It is. to me, it was a little bit like Superman. I'm just bad now. It's like very simple Superman, but yeah, really
And Wonder
cool
Woman
story.
was.
Yeah.
It was funny too. Like I love how much they built it up and how much they showed the separation of these people. You had like people that were friends, and then the next they're enemies, and this line that's like shifting between who's the quote unquote good guys, bad guys in the DC universe. And then at the end they're like, and now it's time for the final decision. Will it be Batman? I'm like, Batman. And they're like,
Yeah.
There's also Superman. Batman. Like after all that work, after how invested in I was, it's like that's the easiest decision in the world every time. Doesn't matter. Even if I disagree with Batman.
It is insane though. We've had this discussion for a fighting game.
Yeah.
We're not talking about our mechanics. We're not talking about how annoying the projectiles are in the meta. It's just that this is a fighting game with a really fun story, and it was received well and sold well. It's just,
And,
awesome.
and another big point was the multiverse. It was such a I'm terrible at fighting games. I think fighting games are really intimidating.
Yes.
You go online and it's a very, very steep learning curve. You got to get through, people trolling you and cheesing you, and people are really good at these games. It was great to have the multiverse as a single player kind of RPG mode, so you can beat the story.
This is how you get new gear and
Yeah,
things?
you beat
Okay.
the story mode, and then if you still don't want to play online with people, you can still go to the multiverse and have a great time for a long time.
That's cool.
in the game. And
That's really
there were
cool.
all these different challenges, and it's cool.
Making their characters look goofy too, which a lot of people were scared to do this year. We talk about that with Battlefront, where it's like, oh no, you can't. There can't be a pink Vader.
Yeah.
Like there should be. That would be fun.
Yes.
Like if you separate that. We talked about how good that story was and how serious it was, and like how there's some really dramatic moments in that.
Yeah.
There's great Harlequin moments. I thought I loved her storyline in that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got pink Batman, or the weird Green Lantern with all sorts of crazy accoutrements on him, and it's not one is not hurting the other. They can exist both at the same time.
Accoutrements.
Great
Yeah.
word.
Great word, Jones.
Great word.
Good stuff.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Accoutrements.
Yeah.
Fiduciary accoutrements.
Ooh, wow. We're going to have to blast through some. We're way over. But Sonic Mania came out this year. Sonic Mania is so cool.
Wow.
I'm holding out hope for Streets of Rage Mania, man. One day.
Bumped into a colleague
Yeah.
at the Far Cry thing. He's like, "What was your soundtrack of the year?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. This was good. Persona was great. And he's like, "Sonic Mania, hands down."
It's
Like,
a really good
"Alright."
soundtrack. It's a really good soundtrack. It's just fascinating. The game was made by people who used to make Sonic fan games. Sega listened. Hey, we'll hire you for this mobile version of the game. Oh, you did a great
2D
job with
Sonic
that.
fan games.
Yes. Yeah.
Important distinction.
Is that an important distinction? Who's making 3D Sonic fan games?
No, I mean, some people are, but I think it's an important distinction that Sonic Mania, awesome, great game, well reviewed.
Oh, we'll get to the stinkers.
Yeah,
We're that's a whole separate part of the podcast.
Yeah, just remember that.
Just remember
when
that.
You get to the
Put a pin
official
in that
the
one.
official team.
Yeah.
Wait, really quick, Kyle, what do you
yeah.
think the future of that franchise is?
I think this team will absolutely be allowed to make another Sonic game. Huber, I don't know if they have passion for anything other than Sonic games.
Do you think they'll do a Sonic Mania 2, though? Or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it'll be a Streets of Rage Mania.
That's a pipe dream.
It's a pipe dream.
But I'll hope.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're so good. They everything's so perfect. I would love to see them do anything but a Sonic game and really go off in other directions. But what they did worked so well, and how could they say no? Metroid: Samus Returns came out this year. Against all odds, that was crazy. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, announced at E3 officially, teased E3 prior, and then came out this year.
Favorite weapon of 2017 is
What is it?
Wolfenstein.
What is it?
laser.
Can you say it? Or is it
This
spoiler?
giant laser gun, and it gives you this gun through the entire game. Like, you can get
Oh,
it
nice.
all the time.
All right.
The first time that drops, though, you kill the
Yeah.
thing carrying it, and you see it glowing like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
And you just vaporize Nazis.
Great.
And they know it. It's fun to aim it at a guy, and I'm like, nope. And it's you can see him taking off.
What?
Eat laser.
They run away from this gun?
If you aim it at someone, and it takes a while to rev up. I definitely saw guys being like, no,
I love
not
that.
gonna stand in the middle of this hallway and get hit by that thing.
The only good part of Iron Man 3, he gets
What?
his suit back. Iron Man gets his suit back, and there's some thugs who are shooting at him, and there's one guy who's pointing his gun at him, and Iron Man puts his hand toward him, and he goes, you know what? He drops his gun. I hate these guys. They're weird, and he leaves. I just want that to happen in video games.
The only good part of
That's
Iron
the
Man.
only. Oh, Iron Man 3, yes. Iron Man 3
3's
is
bad.
largely trash, but I just
Largely.
I need to see that in video games
Wow.
so much more. You know what? I hate these guys. It's fine.
What game has that where dudes will give up? And you actually get penalized for shooting them after they give
Metal
up.
Gear Solid 2. Hold
There's
them
some
up.
game
Yeah,
recent.
penalized.
There's some game this year
Yeah,
last
you
year
gotta
that
hold
had
them
that
up.
as well.
Battlefield
You can't get the
Hardline?
dog
You
You
tags.
can arrest them?
I don't know.
There's Bad Boys, Miami Takedown.
Maybe the Division.
Okay.
Moving on.
All right, moving on.
Assassin's Creed.
Shovel Knight, Spectre of Torment, highly reviewed, came out this year. Resident Evil 7, we alluded to earlier. That's such a huge release. Good stuff. Resident Evil 7.
Good stuff.
Like, think about what that means.
I know.
When you think about all
Yes.
the games that you've mentioned now, I had the most uncertainty going into RE7.
Yeah.
I cracked open RE7 being like, okay, like, let's see what we got. And it was so unbelievably satisfied.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious that I haven't played it in VR because I played that game 4 times.
Oh my god.
And then by the time VR came around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I talked to you
Jones
so
likes
much
it.
about it.
First
Jones.
pass
It
on
was
the
a
first
pleasure.
playthrough. Second time trying to do everything, missed the bobbleheads.
Yeah.
Third time to only get a separate achievement, didn't care about the bobbleheads, got them anyway.
Nice.
Just like,
Yeah.
because I just had it memorized by that
Nice,
point.
nice.
And then the fourth obligatory playthrough because I'd unlocked everything. You know. I was like, I'll just play it again just for an hour and then play the
Damiani.
whole thing again.
Gotta go typewriter mode.
This might be our sneaky goatee.
What?
RE7.
RE7, baby.
Jones played it 4 times,
Sneaky
dude. That's a
goatee.
sneaky
The
goatee.
dialogue
That's a
is
Good.
it's okay.
like
There's some moments in that that are pretty cheesy, but
Sure.
spooky game. Great premise.
A lot of note moments.
Awesome payoffs.
Yes.
Great.
One of my
DLC.
favorite horror characters of video games, period. Yeah.
Who is it?
Spoilers, dude.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers.
Next Machina came out this year. The arcade is dead after its release.
One of the hardest final bosses I've played this year.
Whoa.
Insane, dude.
There's
Some
a tease.
skull boss, dude. It's
Nice.
so hard.
Love that.
And the game,
Wait, was that
if you
the
play it
boss?
on easy, you don't get to play the final level.
Damiani played on easy. You can
No,
tell.
I didn't. No,
you
I
can
didn't.
tell
I didn't
listen.
win.
There's like some
Yeah.
crazy
I
skull
got a
thing.
I got a game over and gave up at a certain point.
Yeah.
The
It's a
final
hard game.
boss.
It might
dude,
have
hard
been. It might have
game.
been that. I lost at
so
that.
hard.
Yeah.
Crazy hard.
I lost
Yeah.
at something. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Hang it
But I
up.
got it. It was cool. It was just to try it out.
Yakuza 0 came out this year. It's just another one of those where it's just like, wow, you know what? These games are getting attention now, and it feels good. I'm
Can't
really
wait for
happy
it to come to
Yakuza this year.
Switch.
Yep.
Feels so good.
Yakuza on Switch, baby.
Stop that.
Just sell so much.
Total War Warhammer 2, I don't know a lot about, but got great reviews.
Warhammer series still going strong.
Great open world.
Yeah.
Or not open world,
Cool
but great
looking,
world map. Great overworld.
Blue armored stuff.
You like that with the huge
No, that's
shoulder
like, no,
pads?
that's like the iconic thing about
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Warhammer's huge though. So
Warhammer's
it's like,
huge.
It's never going away.
Cool. Well, they're apparently still making good games despite the strong franchise, or with that strong franchise. And then before we move on from games, I want to give a special shout out to Ubisoft, because not a lot of these were like in the best reviewed, but Ubisoft had a really cool year, and I want to take note of because Rainbow Six Siege survived this year. They announced a new season.
Oh yeah.
Ghost Recon Wildlands, one of the best-selling games of the year.
Crazy.
Despite,
dude?
yes.
Great.
Saw
I saw
that
that.
right?
Yeah.
Why are we not playing
I know.
co-op Predator
I know.
right now, Huber?
Wait,
know.
what's up?
You're gonna be-
Predators
you're
in
gonna be
Ghost
Predator.
Wildlands.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
The
Predator.
Predator.
The
Yes,
actual
the
Predator.
Predator.
You can
No.
play
Yeah.
4-person co-op versus the Predator.
Oh, and one person is a predator?
No, the Predator's AI, I believe.
Oh, okay. We got to hunt down the predator
Yeah,
while
it's like
it
a story
hunts us.
mission.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What a weird crossover.
Yeah.
No
Bizarre.
way.
Awesome.
A lot of bizarre crossovers this year.
For Honor came out this year. For Honor is a huge success for them. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle came out this year. A huge success. Assassin's Creed Origins, huge success. A lot of these just announced at E3, by the way. And lastly, wasn't taken over by Vivendi all year long.
And South Park did well.
Totally forgot that was Ubisoft. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
You're right, Jones. Really just
Steve
good.
got some DLC? Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, good year for them.
Good year for Ubisoft. And
Ubisoft.
I remember I started this year panicking that they were going to be taken over at any moment. Vivendi was
that still happen?
making moves. So what they're doing to counter it, Hubert's so weird. The Guillemets are buying more of their own stock. They're buying more of their own company.
And didn't Vivendi say they're gonna hold off for a certain amount of months now?
Yeah,
something
Vivendi's pumping
like,
the brakes.
Yeah.
Good.
So it could still happen, but they're working against it. Ubisoft is working against the buyout.
Okay.
It's really weird. Do you all hear that? It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of December. Don't forget PUBG came out this year as well. I talk about PUBG. Sweet Justice, a sound design company based in England that's worked on Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, Injustice 2, Call of Duty, Cuphead, which were all discussed during this podcast, and a load of indies. Check out their website at www.sweetjustice.audio. Brent Klaus. Brent Klaus is a 2D animator and illustrator specializing in motion graphics and art direction. He produces animated content for brands using bold colors, fun character animation, and will sneak in a video game reference wherever he can. You can find him and his work on Twitter at Brent Klaus. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure currently in development at Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. Jojo Dentco, your friendly automotive dent repair expert. If you are currently an Easy A patron and are in the Denver metropolitan area, tweet @FastMower if you would like to have your minor door dings repaired, free of charge. Mango. Hogue Law, business law firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at hoeglaw.com. Critical Reviews. Do you enjoy podcasts about video games, movies, and TV shows? Do you like Twitch streams? Do you like reviews? Then you should watch Easy A. When you're all caught up on Easy A and need more content, check out Critical Reviews. Everything that makes Easy A great, but on a way smaller budget. Watch Jimmy Good, Joe Lever, and Thomas Yang talk about the pop culture you care about and host jolly game streams. Join the Legion at Critical Reviews on YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon, and follow Go Critical on Twitter. L. Fanis. Cartridge Club. At its core, the Cartridge Club is like a book club for gamers. Every month, you're invited to play along at your own pace, sharing your thoughts in the forums, and enjoying a wrap-up podcast with special guests selected from the community. It's a warm and welcoming place made up of content creators and gaming enthusiasts, and we want you to come join in the fun. Head over to cartridgeclub.org to find out more. iKeyless. Since 2002, iKeyless is specialized in replacement automotive keys and remotes. They can save you up to 75% off of dealerships' prices. Visit their updated website at iKeyless.com and use promo code EASYA at checkout for free shipping and an additional 17% off of your order. Jigarbov Productions. As his last podcast halftime, for now, Jigarbov wanted to thank Brandon and the rest of the Allies for letting him have some fun with these podcast halftimes. You can always count on him lurking in the comments, but hey, since there's a new slot that opened up, consider supporting the Easy Allies by going to patreon.com/EasyAllies and supporting this wonderful group of people. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors throughout all of 2017. Well done, sponsors.
I like Jigarbov throwing it. The last opportunity to promote Jigarbov Productions and instead promotes us. That's too kind.
It's way too.
He's a gentleman.
Go download Jigarbov's stuff on Minecraft. Jones, you were right. I totally forgot PUBG because I thought it was safe just to pluck the best reviewed games. Obviously, that didn't end up on like the best reviewed list, but that's a huge game of 2017.
Hey, Fortnite. Huge. Just Battle Royale in general.
Battle Royale in general. Well, no. Jones, it's those two games. It's those two games on the top of Twitch. It's those two games that are really riding the wave. There are other Battle Royale forms in other games, but those two are the highest. Those are the ones who are really profiting from this the most. Really crazy year for that.
2018 will have many a battle royale.
How many?
Look out.
How many?
I don't know how many standalone games,
Yep.
but it will be implemented into many games.
Halo.
Battlefield?
Halo's
Battlefield.
Got it. Yep.
Halo.
Yep.
I could see Red Dead Redemption 2 having a battle royale.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Splatoon 2.
Is there a new Halo in development?
Yeah, I don't know what Halo's up to.
What's up with
343 is always
What's
working
up
on
with
Halo.
Halo?
They're
Yeah.
always working on Halo. There is a new Halo in development.
What number are we on?
6.
No,
Halo
no.
5 was
Didn't-
wrong.
well,
We're not. Yeah, no more numbers.
Didn't they say they're killing the numbers?
Yeah.
So
That's
no
why
more
he was-
numbers.
Okay, Halo Retribution.
Halo
Yeah.
Retribution.
Halo Judgment.
Judgment.
Well, I like Retribution.
Halo Annihilation.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Halo Genesis. Okay, so
Halos.
Halo Z. Halo with a Z. Zombies in Halo. Halo Z.
I'm playing Halos. I'm playing Halos.
There's another Master Chief.
Good sponsorship opportunity with
Yeah.
the orange makers. Halos.
What?
Yep, those little tiny
Those Halos,
oranges.
the little
Yeah,
tangerines.
And they're called Halos?
they're like sold in
Okay.
the little bags.
So like Chief, like just like
Bum, bum,
slams
bum,
into his
bum.
mouth.
Yeah.
This next part isn't very fun. I want to talk about games getting canceled,
Wait.
studios closing. What's wrong here?
Really quick, Kyle.
Yeah.
I know you don't really like competitive multiplayer shooters.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you like battle royale modes though?
I haven't tried them. I don't have the interest though. if
I'd
you're
like
asking
you to
me
play
that.
one
Yeah.
because
It's unique, man. You,
Oh,
you got to check it out just to feel
Yeah.
attention. I've never been so scared running through a beautiful environment before.
Sure.
I've never just gone with the trees and fields being like, I'm going to die immediately. Like when you play Counter-Strike or something, it's like, I'm just used to I'm used to small hallways and like there's a death around every corner. But that's a really interesting thing looking out onto the horizon.
And Kyle,
being like,
you
any
love
small movements.
You love sniping, and it shifts the objective from killing the opponent to just survival.
Yeah.
Like you just survive.
Yeah, but you
I
gotta-
could see you digging it.
You got to run with the rings though too,
Yeah, but I could see you like crouching down in some bush and just hanging out.
for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Do we think at this point next year we're only talking about 2 contenders? Will somebody usurp them?
Usurper.
Yeah, I just wonder because Jones,
What are you talking about?
Battle Royale is
Battle
actually
Royale.
trending up.
Only in Battle Royale? Or
Battle
any
Royale,
game, period?
sorry,
Pub?
Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah.
Battle Royale is actually like trending up. Like it's coming up on PUBG in a scary way. Probably because that's the free to play one. That's not $30. And so yeah, I wonder how stable that is. I wonder how stable PUBG's dominance is.
Nothing's gonna like take its place, but I think imagine Minecraft to a Dragon Quest Builders. I think you'll see maybe another franchise do their own fun thing with it that won't beat it, but won't feel like copycat or just like, oh, tune out of that because like, oh, original idea. It's like, oh, it's kind of fun that you adapted that to Halo or something else and came up with your own fun ideas. Be fun to like do the Forge in a battle royale mode, create your own maps.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, I think kind of the fun is that people memorize the maps, right?
No, they're random. I mean, I think you memorize locations.
Yeah.
But I think the
item drops
maps are random, right?
The item drops
The
are
item
random.
drops are random.
Yep.
There's 2 maps now.
Okay, so the sad part is I want to talk about games getting canceled, studios closing, but it's part of what happened this year. It's going to be part of our review. We have to factor that into how we score it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Scalebound was canceled on January 9th. Scalebound, the huge Xbox exclusive developed by Platinum, Ride and Dragons, just flat out canceled.
Hideki Kamiya,
Yep.
a legend,
Yes.
the director of my favorite game of all time. Getting the shaft.
Resident Evil 2? Mm-hmm. Nice. Favorite game of all time?
Yep.
We got to get it in the Hall of Greats. What are we doing?
I'm like waiting for all the.
That's it. That's the thing.
I'm waiting for all the freaking Chrono Triggers
exactly,
and Zeldas
exactly.
and Mario's and Final
somebody- I gotta
So Jones is
Fantasies.
playing a long game, too.
Yeah, I'm
I got
playing
a
the
super
long
angry
game.
message from somebody who's
Yeah.
like, I am ashamed of you that you have not offered up Final Fantasy VI yet.
Waiting-
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I am not offering up Final Fantasy VI to have it lose.
Because it would have lost
That
a
is
Chrono Trigger.
not
You're
gonna
right.
happen.
6 would have lost a Chrono
I'm gonna
Trigger.
wait
yeah.
to when we're like talking
Yeah.
about like
Yeah.
Pong and like this weird game and like, oh yeah, Final. It's like, all right, Jones, okay, fine.
Yeah,
you know.
but the thing is, Jones, I snuck in Pokemon because of Chrono Trigger's dominance. There was not a large margin between the 2nd and 3rd and 4th place.
You got lucky.
I got lucky, man. Like you could get lucky with Final Fantasy VI. I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
Too much risk.
Scalebound was canceled. That was just crazy. Xbox ran out of really attractive exclusives little by little. Crackdown 3 still exists. State of Decay 2 still exists. Sea of Thieves still exists, and of course we know the Coalition's working on more Gears, and 343 is working on more Halo.
I kind of like where we're all at. Like Nintendo's got, I think, the most interesting headlines of the year. They're probably going to get the most Game of the Year nods. Just putting that on the table.
Yep.
Xbox has got the most powerful console. Sony's got the best library.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah, everyone's a winner.
It's a nice
Gamers
place to
win,
wrap
as
up, and
Caesar
obviously
said, yeah.
PC's
Gamers
kicking
win.
ass. Like PC has the most popular game of the year.
Yeah.
It's great. Feels good.
Several of the most popular because we're still looking at Dota, we're still looking at League of Legends,
Sure.
like, we're still looking at CS:GO. It's crazy. Yeah, everybody's doing well, except for Gorilla Cambridge, which was shut down this year. You might say, what is Gorilla Cambridge? That was the studio, used to be known as Sony Computer Entertainment Europe, Cambridge. They made the Frogger game from 1997. You ever played that?
Okay.
Yeah.
1996.
I believe we have an
Yes.
official Easy Allies copy of that.
Nice.
I think somebody gifted us. That's over there.
It was absolutely like that was a Christmas present. Just like everybody loves Frogger, and they're like, oh, here's Frogger. And it's like, not too bad.
Why do I feel like Frogger's Konami?
Whoa.
I think Frogger is originally Konami,
Punished
Was
Frogger.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Medieval, they made Medieval 1 and 2.
Ah.
This studio.
Ah.
More recently, Killzone on Vita and Riggs. That studio
Killzone
was
on Vita is good.
shut down completely, just gone. Poof.
Yeah, Riggs.
With that legacy though, it's crazy.
Riggs. What happened to? I guess Riggs launched and was okay.
Yeah.
Killzone on PSP.
That happened. We're over that. Okay.
Was it Vita? I have Vita down here.
Yeah, I feel like maybe there's a PSP one also.
Pretty
There's
sure
a
there was
PSP
one.
Resistance game.
That.
Oh,
no.
yeah. I remember playing Killzone on some portable
PSP,
at Game
right?
Trailers. It might have been.
I'm going to hand you the
Vita.
prove it ticket, Damiani. You played a Killzone game on
handheld.
PSP?
No, on handheld.
Oh, okay.
I'm
okay,
not.
all
I'm
right.
not sure if it was Vita.
I
or
feel like it was
PSP.
PSP.
All right, here we got to look it up.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, that studio was shut down.
So wait, what's the question? I want to see if I can get this. What's the Killzone game on PSP?
Yes.
Was
Killzone Mercenary?
Was Killzone on PSP or Vita?
I think it was on PSP.
Okay.
I believe it was called Killzone Mercenary.
And then check to see if that was Gorilla Cambridge. Maybe I effed that up. BioWare Montreal was absorbed into Motive Studios at EA.
Killzone Liberation.
Oh,
PSP.
crazy.
All right, there it is.
But I
That's it.
think there is also one on
And then
Vita.
Mercenaries is the one that this studio made, and that is a Vita game.
Killzone Mercenary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ha!
So I played Liberation.
So somehow we all
Liberation's
ended
really
up right.
good.
Is that a first-person game too?
No, it was like a tactical overmap type.
Dude.
Yeah, it was
Cool.
good.
Cool. All right.
Are we going to get some weird strategy Horizon game on Vita now?
No, John's
with
the
this studio
studio's
coming around,
gone.
yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. So on August 1st, this weird thing happened because what I presumed to be one of the biggest hits of the year proved not to be. Mass Effect Andromeda, huge bomb, launched with multiple issues, and so that studio who made that game, just absorbed into EA Motive, is now working. We'll talk about that next. Let's just talk about that. The visceral Star Wars game is gone. Amy Hennig's Star Wars game gone. That visceral shut down entirely.
Do we know where Amy Hennig went?
She's still with EA.
Okay.
They said we'll talk about her future eventually.
Mm-hmm.
She's still there. Who knows what they'll give her? I hope they give her the Joseph Ferris treatment and just do whatever.
Yeah.
Great. Just do whatever you want. Take as many years as you want. Anyway, EA Motive took over that game, and then I guess a lot of people from the old Mass Effect team working on EA Motive with EA Motive now. Crazy EA business this year. Mass Effect basically is done as a franchise for now.
What did EA do right this year?
Jones, I love
Dude,
that
a
question.
legitimate question.
I
I'm
love
really
that
not
question.
trying to stoke
Let's do it.
anything.
Let's
I
do
would
it.
like to know. Sports, obviously. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
oh no, NBA 2K18 is not.
FIFA.
Right.
Yo, we're
Theirs.
I'm sure we're gonna get into Star Wars Battlefront 2, but
We're not. Let's do it. I don't want to plan to talk about it, so let's
the
do that now.
fact that they removed the microtransactions,
Yeah.
and they did two things in a row. They reduced the cost of Luke and Vader immediately when people
Yeah.
were pissed.
Yeah.
Then they removed the microtransactions. Like, what they did with the loot crates and everything is terrible, but I really appreciate that they listened to the backlash. I mean, sure, you can say that they were backed into a corner and they had to.
Yeah.
But they didn't
That's
have
what
to.
John says. John says it's all calculated.
Yeah, but they did say that they made a mistake. That was one of the things I
Yeah.
was waiting for. I appreciate that language.
Yeah.
So as a consumer, I appreciate that move.
Sure.
Like, people weren't giving them credit for even doing that, and I'm over here saying dude, good,
it's 'cause-
good on
yeah.
them,
Yeah.
I mean, some people think they knew better, and they shouldn't have done it in the.
They shouldn't have done it in the first place,
But,
of
yeah.
course.
But I mean, there's no rules to this. Like, some people just aren't willing to give it all. They think it was calculated, it was done intentionally, and stuff like this. This was their emergency plan, but they wanted, with all intentions, they wanted this to work. Other people whatever. They tried something. Maybe they weren't as evil, plans behind it and stuff. Maybe they're this is the future. We need a solution to supporting these types of games. And they're just okay, we didn't know people get this angry. Whoops. Okay. We'll try and fix it. But
Johns, I think their biggest success might be the announcement of Anthem. I think if
Okay.
EA
Yeah,
is looking
it's a
at
success.
2017, and even that's kind of tepid. I think I think there's not a huge hype for Anthem.
Dude, the way Destiny 2 is trending right now, man, Anthem is poised to strike.
What?
talking about?
I think they're sweating. I think they're oh no, maybe the
Destiny 2
server
now-
isn't that
better,
strong.
I thought.
No, I'm saying, okay, because Destiny 2 in the last couple of weeks has been
Yeah.
trending down.
Right.
Curse of Osiris was a failure.
So you're saying Anthem is spotting a weakness?
Yes.
There's
There's
still
still
targeted
so
weak
much of
spot.
Anthem we have yet
Anthem
to
is
see.
ready to strike on that.
Okay.
I think that there's this fatigue in those types of games. I think talking about earlier with PUBG and Fortnite.
Drop in,
I think
baby.
those are the new hotness. That's
Yeah.
what everyone wants. Those types of games either need to evolve and add that type of stuff. Watch, Destiny adds Battle Royale mode or something,
Yeah.
and there you go.
You better.
Yep. Trends just change like that.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do to keep up with online games.
Yeah.
Lastly, IO Interactive was dropped by Square Enix in March, but then they announced their independence
Yeah.
in June.
This turned
And
out
stuff. Yeah, this
Happy
is
ending.
actually a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a happy story. I'm glad. we got to
IO
end with this one.
Interactive was one of maybe my first favorite studio growing up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just because you see him at the beginning of Hitman games?
Yep, like Hitman and I'm drawing a blank right now. But yeah, I love IO. It's cool.
One of your favorite studios you drew a
I
blank.
know.
Yeah.
I'm sick, man.
Okay.
Cut
All
me
right.
some slack.
I'll cut you that slack.
All right.
It's because everyone was worried that when Square Enix was gonna get rid of them or shopping them around, that we didn't know initially if the Hitman IP was going with them or not.
Every other studio
Yeah.
we talk about when the studios are gone, they get shut down and everybody has to leave. And in this
Yeah.
case, yeah, they
then they let them keep the IP.
they let
It's
them
like, here
keep
you go,
Hitman,
take it, and they
and there's Christmas stuff already. They actually are updating the game presently.
yeah, there's the episodic stuff they're still updating.
Santa
cool.
Pack.
And they said they were
Yeah.
got like plans with a new
He goes into
publisher or
Santa.
something for like the next
cool.
Hitman or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're good stuff.
I
there.
love that. I love that story. I'm so happy they have their independence, and I'm glad Square Enix didn't kill them entirely. It's cool.
Then EA will buy them.
Please, no. Let's skip business moves. Let's skip that stuff. Basically, a lot of people left their jobs this year. A lot of people in big positions left their jobs. Valve, Naughty Dog, Sony, huge shifts. But we rarely see the ripples of those. We rarely see the effects. Let's talk about the worst reviewed games. The other end of the spectrum. So when I go and look at the worst reviewed games,
Yeah, aren't they weird? Like,
a bunch of them are
yeah,
weird.
what do you got?
Miiverse games.
So I pulled out the
Weird
spicy ones.
Mobile games,
Yeah.
maybe.
I pulled out some spicy ones
All right,
for
you got
us.
some spicy.
Bubsy, Woolies Strike Back.
Who didn't see that coming? Who even asked for that?
It's just the Sonic Mania year, though. You never know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot was huge.
Yes.
No.
Crash Bandicoot made money.
We should have brought up Crash Bandicoot,
Yeah.
man.
Crash
This was
Bandicoot
a
and
huge year for
Sonic
Crash.
had established stuff in the past.
Yeah.
They had a legacy.
Yeah.
Bubsy was just like
Who asked?
a footnote, and they thought it was worth trying to bring back.
I think that legacy is hard to understand from the inside.
Yes.
I think it's hard for people with the rights to that, with the possibility to bring that back, to really kind of step outside of it and be like, does anybody really care? Or is it when we hear people being like Bubsy, are they like feeding on that? Or are they like, yeah, that
Yeah.
indifference, woo? You know, it's
They
like-
could have made that game. They could have made that game, but it was just about collecting little balls of yarn. Like it just the game itself looks unappealing. Like oh
Yeah, like
They could have made a good
the,
Bubsy
like the
game, I
video
believe.
clips of it, the
Yeah.
trailers, like the actual platforming looked kind of like boring.
Yeah, it was-
I was like,
and they had the
okay.
gall to do a collector's edition with like the soundtrack and
Oh
everything.
dear, did one of those?
Yeah.
I don't know. People need to learn to separate like internet hype from like laughing at something, like the snakes on the plane, or I thought it was gonna be one of the biggest movies of the year.
That's a
and
great
it like
example.
bombed.
Yes.
like you gotta between
That's a
trolling
really
and
good
memery and actual genuine like legacy fandom.
Yes.
like Snakes on the Plane had no fandom. There's no Snakes on the Plane fandom. It's just a bunch of people online like laughing and making gifs and stuff about it. They weren't gonna go rush to see it in droves.
Whereas Sharknado, there's a fandom.
Yeah, there's fandom.
Fandom.
They're making
But
money.
those are like low budget, like direct to Netflix.
You
or
telling me
whatever.
Bubsy wasn't low budget?
Oh, it is, but that's like it
gotta
didn't
play-
have the cool, crazy concept.
Here's the
of
thing. here's the thing.
Sharknado.
Sharknado
What a cool
has
name.
love put in there. Sharknado has love put into each title.
Sure.
Like they look dumb, but I think the people who write and direct and make those movies are having a good
It's
time.
like B horror tropes, right? Like
Yeah.
there's an actual like following for B level
Yeah.
horror films.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battles, a game we all played.
We forget about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can forget about that. Drawn to Death came out this year.
Oh, yeah.
One of the worst reviewed games of the year.
Oh,
I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
unique.
Wow.
Unique. Boy, it was ever unique.
Then going from like a retail game to like they just gave it away. They just gave that game away. It was a PS Plus game.
Yeah. 1-2 Switch, one of the worst reviewed games of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I cannot believe that.
What?
I think because it was
File?
I think because it was expensive. I think
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
that was a 50 banger.
I think that's what happened because Wii Sports was a bundled in game.
Yeah, sure,
And
yeah,
it was
free to play.
unique.
Yeah.
This was everyone was going after that price. They're like,
Yeah.
why is this not bundled? That was the storyline. Why
I
is
think
it
also,
not
I think it's also a shot off of the bow of the ship, you know, just so everyone's like, all right, Switch, what do I get? And we're like, you can maybe pass on that. Like
Yes.
it
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like the thing you should get because they're advertising it so heavily and it looks like they're having a lot of fun, and you will have fun, but then the fun will stop and you'll look back on it every time you go through that library and be like, oh yeah, 1-2 Switch.
Yeah. I own it still. Valkyria Revolution.
That was trash.
We talked about how much people love Valkyria Chronicles.
That's not Valkyria Chronicles.
Yes, it is. It's the
It's
same franchise, is it not? Done
it is a totally different type of game. I played both the Japanese demos. The second one was really long.
Okay.
In fact, the second demo was a big portion of like the first like major chapter of the game, and it was like 70% dialogue. boring
That's
conversations.
not trash. That's
No, it
that's
was bad. It was really bad.
It's engrossing.
Really bad cutscenes. And the actual gameplay was just a weird real-time action RPG that just completely missed the point of why people liked Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah.
And no one asked for this. Like, everyone wants more strategy RPG Valkyria Chronicles. Like, just make another one. Everyone been claiming for this, and you get Valkyria Revolution. And people are like, okay, maybe they figured out something cool and they just want to try it, and it just was a mess. It was an absolute mess.
What's really interesting is we've seen this happen so many times where they try this kind of game and it bombs, and then they abandon the franchise altogether. This has a happy ending because in this year, Valkyria Chronicles 4 was announced.
Because the PC, the re-releasing Valkyria 1 on PC sold a crap ton, and they're like, oh, people care about this franchise still.
Re-release.
Okay.
Re-releases.
God, I love them.
I feel like Valkyria
Love
Revolution
'em.
was just like a low budget attempt to like try something in the stopgap between 4.
Sure.
Remember that like really brief time when everyone hated on remasters?
Yes. You know what?
$60 for this game I already played.
I think it was because we had new consoles and we wanted to play new games, and for
Fair
a long
enough.
time, the new consoles, the best stuff to play was remasters in a weird way. Yeah.
Very fair.
I got 4 3DS games right here. In the
Okay.
worst, and they're kind of like back to back to back.
Nice.
Kirby Battle Royale, poorly reviewed. Mario Party, the top 100, very poorly
That
reviewed.
was such a dumb thing.
Mario Sports Superstars,
So that
no.
did bad. Okay.
Yeah. And then Tank Troopers, which I actually played, also a stinker.
Tank Troopers.
So
Mario Party, why was that not on Switch?
a bunch of dumb filler games, just
everyone.
Why?
Yes.
it's
Yes,
crazy
you
they're
were.
filler games, but also poorly like they just turned out to be trash filler games.
Well, it's not gonna be on Switch
3DS.
now.
Yeah, probably won't be.
Just wait for that real new Mario Party Huber on
Hopefully,
Switch. It's coming.
We're due for a good one, and if any,
Can you
like,
imagine that, Huber, when everyone has their own Switch?
I
And you're gonna
know.
play. Oh my gosh.
I
Huber.
know. But Damiani, I thought the same thing about Wii U, you know? I thought the Wii U and the gamepad would have been like this perfect catalyst for a great Mario Party. It just never happened.
Nah.
Oh no, not that Mario.
You
Party.
know?
Not
Yes.
that one. This is rejuvenated Nintendo, Huber. You gotta believe.
True. This
They're
is a
gonna
new
do.
era.
They're gonna do the. They're gonna go back
sure.
to their roots with Mario
Yes.
Party.
Is that fair to say? All these games
Yeah.
came out the same year as the new Mario and the new Zelda. Isn't this the same
These are like
Nintendo?
the C team. Like
They're
'cause
letting it
this
out the
is-
door.
No, the 3DS, like, they don't have like the ramped up production like they do anymore for like game development for it.
Yeah.
They're still supporting it, but like it's like 2-3 big titles a year because everything had to move to Switch.
Yeah.
So
I think we're seeing the effects of it with.
they
these
were just
portable
like
games.
pushing
Yeah.
out some stuff. Like it's probably was so low budget and harmless. Like just try it. Like let's see. Like maybe 100 games on Mario Party.
It's a
Maybe
good
people love
idea.
it. And maybe people want to buy all this.
Great
and it's like,
idea.
nah, I guess not.
Yeah.
You know, maybe whatever the Mario sports thingamajig game. Maybe they're like, oh, maybe some people like this. I'm like, yeah.
It's a good idea for a game. Wasn't executed well. Next,
Is this
up.
proof that, or evidence, I should say, that 3DS is
I think so, dude.
going down?
I think
No,
so.
it's not.
Because
I
they
think it's
don't.
evidence.
Because they
Yeah.
clearly
No, it's
didn't care
not.
about these games if they're that bad.
No,
Yeah.
that's software development, but like the Samus Returns and
Samus Returns.
Fire Emblem Echoes sold very well, and 3DS had
Pokemon Ultra
Sun,
Sun
Ultra
and Ultra Sun and Moon.
Okay, true.
Those charted,
Yeah.
very highly. Like
True,
3DS
true.
is still selling
Still
enough
going.
that they don't want to abandon it yet.
I think a year from now we'll still be talking about games that released on 3DS this
Exactly.
year.
Don't worry, Hubert. My sentiment was I just want 3DS games to be on Switch as well.
Yeah.
You can keep making them 3DS, just let me put them on
Cross-play.
Switch. Yeah.
Totally. I
Okay,
agree.
we put a pin in this. We're plucking the pin back out.
Oh no!
So
What?
It's live. The grenade.
It's live. Sonic Forces is live. I'll jump on this one.
Sonic Forces
Sonic Forces is a new Sonic game from Sonic Team.
that doesn't know what it wants to be.
I will get through. I will start and finish this game before the year is over.
We gotta stream
It
it.
takes 3 hours,
Yeah,
dude.
we
It's
gotta
short.
I'm ready.
Because Huber, you and I made a bet about whether it would have microtransactions or not. It doesn't. It actually doesn't have microtransactions.
Yeah.
To its credit, it's a $40 game with no
I
microtransactions.
Who lost that one?
So many.
What's up? Huber lost that one.
Nice.
And I lost the Will Destiny sell more than Call of Duty?
Yeah.
I lost that one.
I had to, you know what? I normally would lose my Huber
Wow.
bets. I did some good.
You
I
picked
did got
Destiny
some
to
good stuff.
sell more Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, but you called the Super Nintendo Classic before that came out. You said they're going to do this. They're going to do a new Nintendo or a new Super Nintendo Classic.
Nice.
So, yeah, you got that one
So
on
you
you.
got me 2-1 though.
Yeah. That's almost, Huber, that's a better prediction than anything. I don't think that was a better call than to say no microtransactions on it. Whatever. It's crazy that Sonic Mania is in the best reviewed games, the one made by fans, and then the one made by Sonic Team. whose job it is to make Sonic games, is among the worst reviewed games of the year.
Sonic Team is just so inconsistent with their development of games since they started with Sonic Adventure, with 3D Sonic games.
Yep.
It has been a back and forth like mess.
Just like up, peaked with Sonic Unleashed, and then down.
And like actually they had 2 games kind of recently, Colors and Generations.
And Generations.
They literally just could have gone back to
Yeah.
and been like, hey, let's make an evolution of this.
I think all 3 of those games are solid Sonic games.
Yeah.
And
This is not one.
And they
This
come
is
out with this. I get like this has been said a lot by a lot of different people, but the create your own avatar character thing just comes off as pandering. It
Yeah.
like in the mechanics, it doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right from what I played.
Yeah, the
of it.
bear
It's
is
so
like
weird.
so weird.
It takes you out of it, and the game just doesn't know what it wants to do at some points with that. It's like, does it want to just be the on-rail Sonic where you're going fast as Sonic and like cool, funny like stuff like that, or you're just gonna do like these weird mechanics that your avatars use, and a lot of it isn't even gameplay. A lot of it is just watching crap and quick time event stuff. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This game's over already? Like, you don't do anything in this game. It's so
funny,
short.
On this podcast, we praised the decision. We were so excited that they had this option of self-inserting your own dumb Sonic character
I think it
into
was
this
just
game.
really, like the meme factor.
Yeah, I thought it was genius. I thought it was a great play. Didn't turn out to be that way. Didn't turn out.
And I think the hard thing, maybe the reason they couldn't go back to Generations, because Mania was already doing the 2D thing. Like this has got it covered, guys.
Are there not 2D? There's classic Sonic in the game. Are there no 2D missions?
The classic Sonic is almost like pointless. There is some side-scrolling parts,
Well, then, yeah.
but it's not like they're not good or anything like that.
Damiani, I bet they paid almost no attention to Sonic Mania. I bet they were like, "Pff, yeah, sure. And then,
They probably didn't.
this
but
year they had to face the consequences. They had to like look at these numbers, and Sonic Team has to like look and say, "Oh,
well, I mean,
I can't even imagine what that
feels like."
must feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
That's like, ugh.
they either need to figure out which of the previous Sonic games, or from the previous Sonic games, which ones had the best ideas, and try and come up with something again that like mixes them well. I mean,
It's just extremely hard to capture Sonic speed in 3D. Like,
is.
it's so hard. Like, even going back to Sonic Adventure, like, great game, but there's still so many parts where it's just like you're on rails. You know,
Yeah.
you're just going. You know, it's just a hard thing to capture.
That's been like the problem of them.
Yeah.
Like maybe they need to be something else then.
Yeah,
Maybe
they
they,
really
aren't
do.
about like blazing speed.
Yep.
Sonic has other cool attributes about him that aren't necessarily like just running fast. The aerial homing attacks and stuff like
Okay,
that. Like
all right.
his friends like Tails and stuff like.
Synergy with the other characters.
Yeah,
I
like
think
some
would
kind of
be
like
fun.
I know people.
That was my hope
Are
in
you being
Colors.
serious right now?
Yeah, I remember seeing Colors and seeing all the characters on different colored rails all bouncing around. I was like, ooh.
I know people freak out when you mention the animal friends of Sonic,
Yes.
but like just the core: Knuckles, Tails, Sonic, those three, and come up with some kind of like a more platform-driven action platformer that's less about speed, more about like the Sonic's action, like like jumping
I hear you,
and
I
doing
hear you.
stuff.
Even
yeah.
going back to like original Sonic 1 and 2, like as not a speedrunner or a pro streamer of it, like I go through those games kind of slow.
I hear you,
Sonic
You
1
know,
is
I
very slow.
Yeah, I explore
Sonic
a
1's
lot.
not that fast.
And I feel like for combat, hear me out. We should have like stretchable arms that like stretch when you want to attack things. And I guess to sort of like justify that, we'd have to like turn into some other form at night, like a werehog.
Stop it, Kyle.
And so then like there's like these missions, these platforming missions with combat heavy that are kind of slow. Try it out. That's all I'm
I
saying.
like Unleash, man. I beat that game.
Platinum should make the next 3D Sonic.
I want to talk about two more worst reviewed games. They're personal. They're personal to two people here on the podcast right
Ooh.
now.
Uh-oh.
First of which, Parappa the Rapper Remastered. One of the worst reviewed games of the year.
Why was it so reviewed poorly? Why did it review so poorly, Kyle?
Because it doesn't hold up.
Can I tell you, when we were planning
doesn't hold
when
up.
we were planning Hall of Greats, I was gonna bring it, dude.
Oh,
I was like, Parappa the Rapper's easy. I no longer dream of getting Parappa the Rapper into the Hall of Greats. I know it's just personal now. I know I'll never convince anyone else after seeing these things. It's a very different game. It's a rhythm game where the proper thing to do is not to hit the buttons at the proper time. And so yeah, boy, oh boy. You know, we didn't talk about like the canceled. We talked about like games that got canceled. We didn't talk about the Kickstarter that failed.
oh.
The follow up where the director of Parappa the Rapper and the director of Guitar Man were actually collaborating on a game together, and that Kickstarter failed. Just a bad old Parappa the Rapper year. I still love that game, but have to rethink what it actually means. And then another game, one of the worst reviewed of the year. Huber's ready. Friday the 13th.
They just had a huge 2.0 patch.
I don't care. The game's reviewed poorly. Doesn't hold up.
It's better now than it was.
Wait, what's the patch do?
It just like a lot of bug fixes, a lot of new raise the level cap, all that rigmarole. But there's actually like a
Rigmarole.
Rigmarole.
there's actually like a virtual cabin where you can like walk around and like interact with things and like things happen.
Like the start of PUBG where everybody's like on the thing?
It's single player.
Oh,
so there's
okay.
like a virtual cabin single player
Oh, okay.
where you can like interact with Friday the 13th lore. And like, there's some secrets in there. It's really cool. Now you can play against bots, which is good because you can never do that.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, for like 6 months after this game launched, broken.
Sure.
Broken. Tried to play with Greg Miller so many times because he's always like, "Yo, come play," like on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it's just.
Couldn't connect.
And even he would tweet, he'd be like, "Never mind, it's not working."
Oh, brutal.
So many times.
Oh, okay, that'll hurt a game.
So many times.
That'll hurt an online focus game for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it though. It's time to review 2017. Unless you want to put in more input for the rest of the panel to discuss, like it's time to score 2017.
Score it.
Yep. We have to look at the beginning and the end. I don't know if anybody wants to throw a number out there. We can
Evil
talk
Within
about
2
it.
also happened. Well, I think it's above. I think it's above a 9. I'm feeling like a
yeah.
9.4.
Why 9.4, dude?
What? Too high or too low? Or
So
what?
many bad things happened. We talked about all the bad things that happened this year.
Comparatively, though, man. I mean, comparative to the history of games, this
Mm-hmm.
was just an incredible year. And I think the thing that really satisfied me about this year was there were a lot of games where you're like, is it good? It's good. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
And then another
Yes.
one like, how about this? Is it? Why, yeah. You know?
Uh-huh.
And so it was just seeing so many of those, what's behind door number 3? Another great game.
Yeah.
Seeing that happen so many times. Seeing how much I remember going to like I think it was last year's PSX and seeing how hard they were pushing Horizon, and I was like, God, I hope that's good. I hope this isn't just a huge waste. I hope Guerrilla's not like, what now? Or Sony's like, oh no, we really thought Aloy was going to be like a new character. There's like a new Kratos, a new Sackboy, and a new Nathan Drake, and it's just so nice to have that payoff. So nice to have just these big investments. Yeah, feels good. I think a 9 or above at least.
9.7.
Whoa.
You're in a 9.7.
Some of the greatest games of all time.
Wow. But not the
Revitalized franchises, bringing much needed attention to long living franchises like Yakuza and Nier. A new console launched. 2017 is one of the greats.
And Huber, you hate the Wii U.
I despise the Wii U.
You hate that hardware.
I don't hate a lot of things. It's
Yeah.
such a bad word.
Yeah.
I hate it. Oh my god. Like so many cables. You got the motion sensor. You got like so many plugs. There's like 40 wires. The gamepad is always out of batteries. Despise the
We were
Wii U.
streaming Strikers earlier today, and your boss was like, "Hey, where's the sensor bar?" And I was like, "Get out of my face, sensor bar! I'm not. It's back there somewhere, dude. I ain't looking for it. Not happening."
Cannot stand it.
It's been a while since I heard sensor bar.
Yeah, good riddance Wii U, I guess.
And not even a lot of good games.
Yeah.
They've got Bayonetta 2. Yeah, that's on Switch now. So
Tropical Freeze. Gotta keep it around.
Tropical Freeze. And I love 3D World.
3
Captain
World.
Toad.
What's the
Yeah.
score, Damiani?
You go with a 9.5.
I think that might be the even.
We might
between.
average out to this 9.5. That might be our final score.
Yeah.
That's a really good score for a year. Are you kidding me? 9.5?
One of the best years ever.
So, I mean,
Can I make a good meme quote
Please.
that was used once before in a
It better
review?
be good.
A famous quote from Halo 2 review.
what?
Halo 2 guns.
The only thing wrong with this, I'm not quoting exactly, but the only thing bad about 2017 was perhaps it was too good. Remember that Halo 2?
No. I gotta send you a
The only
correction.
thing wrong is that it's too good.
I gotta send you a correction. Damiani, it wasn't a review. This was one up show. This was one up show,
Yes.
and it was in reference to Gears of War 2.
Okay, whatever.
Which is even more absurd to me, actually.
Thank you for correction right
Yes.
there, Kyle Bossman.
Yeah.
Uh,
The only bad thing about Gears of War 2 is that it's too good.
Because I take a lot of the bad this year with the good. It's like I think EA had a lot of missteps, but I think people I think they're paying for it.
They were taken to task for it. You're
I
right,
think
Jones.
even
Yeah.
with what Battlefront had with Battlefront, they made no changes to Need for Speed Payback, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's not going to affect this game poorly." And like,
Haha.
the cards and everything. It's just like, why are you keep ruining these potentially great games? And so I think I was proud of a lot of people standing up for what they believe in, making their voices heard on social media, and making a lot of changes in this industry, making a lot of executives sweat,
Yeah. Yes,
making
Jones.
them earn their giant paychecks. Feels good.
Heck
We got
yeah.
a Mario and Zelda in the same year.
Yeah.
We got a
Mario Rabbids game that wasn't
Zelda,
bad. Yeah.
Resident Evil, 2 Yakuzas. Merry Christmas.
Think of how many franchises we love that are humming, that are just all in
Persona?
really, really good shape.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we cannot wait. I can't wait for Animal Crossing on Switch, but we got this pretty decent like Animal Crossing game on mobile. Like, you were dying to get Pokemon on Switch, but like, you got a good Pokemon game this year or last year that got an even better version this year. So just good time to be a fan of video games.
Do we get games that are gonna like change things? You know what I mean?
PUBG.
Like when I think of the best years of
changes.
gaming, you look back at that year and you're like, wow, everything changed that year.
PUBG and Battlefront's failure.
Do you think we'll look back at this year
Feels
like,
like a
oh,
shift.
Battlefront's
for
failure
sure.
and PUBG
the
success.
backlash will happen with loot boxes and its
Yep.
its effect on other games.
Sure.
Like, we're still seeing it. It still hasn't
Yeah.
been decided yet. So
People
And
just
just
that's
like
still the play out.
this is a little self-serving,
Sure.
but to kind of steer away maybe from the people who make games. But I was stoked seeing what's good games made this year. I was stoked seeing No Clip happen this year. There's a lot of great groups now. It was stoked to see Game Attack, go independent. I just think that's a really interesting shift. Again, like consumers speaking with their wallets and really focusing the spotlight on things that not only might not have gotten attention, but just might not exist without
Sure.
the support of their fans. So.
I mean, Jones, another part of that, and we rarely talk about this on the podcast, is YouTube changing monetization of video game videos. If you have violent videos that have some sort of weird, I don't know what their algorithms are.
They don't even know.
Yeah.
I read a really, really long article about this, actually,
Yeah.
even from the content
Yeah,
creators.
Yep.
That, they've tried it with putting violent images in their thumbnail. Without it, they don't even know.
So it's weird. There's this weird algorithm that's seeding out violent video games, and so the monetization of video game videos has become weirder, and it's been more on this group funding. This weird. It is a
Moore.
weird wave. Sorry,
You said Ben Moore. Hey.
Ben Moore is a member of Easy Allies. So 9.5, I guess we go with. Interesting year, 2017.
I love that there was just no stopping PUBG. There was just no Microsoft's like I guess we have to do this, right? Like I guess we got to get them on the phone and get this
Microsoft did it
exclusive.
early. I think they deserve credit for getting in there early.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean that was definitely a victory for them.
Yeah.
But I just love that it just didn't matter what was really going on with this game. That audience, so many people are playing, and the audience is so committed. The hype is growing so fast. It's just this runaway, locomotive.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool that something like that can happen in games where all the players gather together and decide that one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much it's making. Doesn't matter, really one map.
Getting to the top of
one.
Steam was crazy. It was crazy because you see it rising and you're like, no, it's never going to be Dota, though. It's never going to be Dota. And then just buy Dota. It's like the craziest thing
There
to
was
see
a
that rise that
point.
way.
There was a point like a month or two after it came out where I was like, "All right, I think it's time to play PUBG."
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's time now. Like,
For
this
me,
is hyped.
I'll like browse Twitch. I'll see like what's number one on Twitch. It was just number one on Twitch on so many
Yeah.
times. Yeah. Just,
I was like, "What?" 'Cause
what is Player Unknown's
Yeah.
Battleground?
I just kept expecting
Yeah.
it to fade,
Yep.
and it just never did.
Cool.
Wow.
Good year. It's now time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
Ooh. By the way, final score 9.5. If you were confused, I think I would have gone lower, but I wasn't. I was just simply the moderator. 9.5 is so high.
It should be, man.
You got to shake the universe to go 9.5 to me.
I feel shook.
Okay.
I feel shook, dude.
If you feel legit shook, then that's
One of the
good.
best lineups of games ever in a year.
You
Bring up RE7 again. My knees get weak.
Look how
Yeah.
many games broke 95 average reviews.
Yeah, look
I
at that
didn't
Mario
think we would do
Zelda.
that
They got
anymore.
multiple.
That's because like in years past, it's like, oh, you know what? You can't do that anymore. You need like no games get that kind of reviews. Everybody else drags them down.
Developers
And like everyone got, like Jones was saying about how just like Sony's doing great, Nintendo's doing great,
Yeah.
Microsoft's doing great.
Yeah.
Think about the diversity of games like online PUBG, JRPG Persona, like horror Evil Within 2, Resident Evil. It's just like every type of gamer was served up a New York strip.
Yeah, dude.
So
You're right. Like Parappa the Rapper Remastered, you know
Yeah.
what? It's in the lowest reviewed. One of my favorite games I played this year.
so many classic
Yeah.
games came back this year, remastered and re-released. There was an Uncharted like standalone expansion, didn't even crack.
Dang, yeah.
that came
it was
out
on
this
page
year.
2, dude. Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. It's actually crazy that game wasn't among that like top page of best reviewed
I think a
games
lot
of
of
the year.
digital. I think a lot of digital in terms of sales.
No, this wasn't sales. This was for best reviewed games that we
reviews.
went through. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Portal Knights. It's a good year.
Is that in your top 10? Is that your personal top?
I just looking back on just imagining all those squares line up on PS4. It's like, oh yeah, that was one.
Here's my criticism for Lost Legacy. Doesn't belong here, but I'm dropping it anyway. Here's why I think it wasn't on that page 1 of best reviewed games. We were playing that Resident Evil 7 DLC.
Yeah.
I want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
it was like, wow, this is actually a really interesting thing to do with this game.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever had that with Uncharted. It was a fun story, fun characters, great writing, great environments. Everything's really great about that game.
Yeah.
But nothing felt like, oh, wow, this is a really interesting take on what's possible in Uncharted.
I agree, but I sometimes think it's unfair to be like to expect a 10 and get a 10 and then just be like, oh, it's fine, it's good. It's what
Yeah, you and I meet on this one. It's the Rockstar issue too.
It's the
They're
Rockstar,
Like,
yeah.
Rockstar does a
You
AAA
expect
awesome
it-
game. They're
yeah.
like, well, I mean, they're Rockstar.
Yeah.
They're like, so they don't get credit. Like they don't, it's like, no.
But I feel you, especially after playing Resident Evil 7. It's like they could have done something different.
Yeah.
They tried to do it kind of with like mini open world area,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I love that mini open world area. Yeah.
I feel you.
Too many good games.
Too many good games. Yes. Rockstar, like Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be in like the top 1. That's going to be the best reviewed game next year.
Last of Us
Last
Part
of
2
Us
is the
2.
most anticipated game of 2018. So
And God of War.
clearly, it's going to review better.
I think we're going to
God
have a
of
bunch
War?
of 95 pluses again.
Yep.
Probably.
I think we're looking at another year with a bunch of 95 pluses.
Probably.
Crazy. All right, let's do some love and respect though.
I'm excited
as
to play
previous
God
opinions.
of War so loud. If I don't get noise complaints, it's a failure.
I'm gonna rate you out an IMAX for it, Huber.
Dude, please. God of War on the IMAX.
All right, we got some work to do in love and respect.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Hey, allies. I feel like the Pokemon franchise is in a very dangerous place as far as the mainline games go. A lot of information, rumors, and expectations have caught Nintendo fans in a proverbial whirlwind of jumping to conclusions on everything from the release date to design philosophy. What's the proverb about whirlwinds? The most alarming thing I have heard is how Game Freak feels pressured by Mario Odyssey's and Breath of the Wild's receptions to go big and different. Problem here is, outside of Tembo the badass elephant, I'm not sure of how many home console games Game Freak has made, let alone HD games. While Game Freak is putting its more experienced developers on the Switch project, is it realistic to expect something on such a high quality level as Breath of the Wild? I fear the game will become trapped by their 3DS era design philosophies rather than being what we should expect from a 2018 JRPG on home systems. More importantly, how big of a leap can this game be if Game Freak and Nintendo expect to follow the same yearly release schedule following it? I find it unrealistic to believe Game Freak can turn out an Odyssey quality game every year. I don't expect them to, but many, many people do. What are your thoughts on this matter of counting your Pokemon before they're caught? Love and respect, Evan Solomon.
An excellently worded question.
Yeah, this is a really good bring me down to earth question. I love this question. It's like, no, seriously, Game Freak doesn't have the staff for that game that we're imagining, right?
Yeah, but neither did technically Zelda have to make Breath of the Wild.
So how did they make Breath of the Wild?
They
How'd that
brought
happen?
Monolith Soft over, who were experts in making open world games,
Uh-huh.
and they had to show the Zelda development team, hi, this is how you should be doing this. This is how you should be doing this. They kept bringing on people watch the development videos for Breath of the Wild.
What development? Where do I watch
They
these?
put up on YouTube on their Nintendo's channel.
On Nintendo's channel?
They put behind the scenes videos for the development of that game.
Why are you hiding these from me?
Yeah.
I'm not hiding them from you.
Okay. I would love to watch these.
They're just go on YouTube and watch.
Wait, is this
them.
where they showed the UFO stuff and the original motorcycle stuff? Is that the same presentation?
That was at
from the GDC?
that was from GDC.
This is a
these
different
are
thing?
these were like produced videos.
Oh, wow, cool.
This is the one they had the whole episode talking about like the minimalist approach in music.
Cool.
Using the piano. Geez,
Yeah.
piano. Wow. They were talking about composing songs strictly using piano as like the predominant instrument, and they were really hesitant. They're like, yikes, we've never done this before. Like, is this gonna work? Basically, they brought in people from different teams and stuff to help the main Zelda team to help realize this game. They had
Can Pokemon do the same
they
thing?
had problems all over. This is why Breath of the Wild took a long time. So the one thing I'll say, I don't think Pokemon Switch, if Pokemon Switch is gonna be anything more than just like a 3D console quality update to the established formula, it is not coming out next year.
Okay.
Like, I don't think that's possible unless they've been working on this for a long time, which
They have been.
so possible. I think it's going to take a lot of resources. I think it's going to take a lot of time to figure it out. But the second part of the question is a good thing. Are they going to be able to do this every year? That's been Pokemon's like MO.
Right.
It's a version coming out every year, pretty much.
Yes.
Is that something they can keep doing? And if not, are they going to do like an either or? Like this year, say 2018, say it's done. 2018, we get the brand new Switch style Pokemon.
Yeah.
But then 2019,
It's like a Diamond and Pearl remake.
it's like it's basically like, hey, but it's on Switch. It's just like a handheld Pokemon style Pokemon on Switch.
Oh, like you're going back to talking about like that Zelda, so it would be like top down here.
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't think so, dude, because once it's
Yeah.
up to a generation, you can't go back, just the way Pokemon works.
There'd be split generations then. There'd be
Ooh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
console generation
That's
and then
risky.
the mobile generation.
That's too risky.
I mean, I don't know because they've streamlined their teams, the mobile and console development. That's what EPD or SPD is now, the Nintendo.
Yeah, we're talking
Like,
about
on the
Game
one-
Freak.
Yeah, but like that development cycle will work for Zelda. I think Game Freak just needs to be like Nintendo needs to talk with Game Freak and be like, this is our pipeline stuff now. Maybe you should consider being folded into it or working with us more. I feel like if it's gonna be anything like this more ambitious one, Game Freak has to lean on Nintendo's development studios a little bit more to make
Yes.
this happen. Otherwise, it's not happening.
Hubert, is there
Yeah.
any way a new Pokemon game meets JRPG standards of 2018?
There's always a chance.
That's a nice way to say that.
There's always a chance.
Yep.
Depending on how long this game has been in development, I mean,
Yeah.
if they've been cranking away on this, I mean, that's the dream, man. I would love that. But I think to release a Pokemon game every year it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
And I think they need to go Ubisoft style.
Yeah.
Take a look at this and you know, take a step back and maybe really like make Pokemon an event. It's so
Yes, dude.
diluted to
Yes.
me as
Yes.
a not super Pokemon fan. I like Pokemon, but I'm not
Yep.
a super fan. It's just too much. Like there was a point when it was just so many Pokemon games all the time, and I checked out. Like,
I get you.
After Diamond, I was just like, dude, like I'm done.
Jones.
It doesn't even make the Pokemon themselves special because now there's 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
It's too many.
Jones, I have a solution. I have a solution to Huber's problem of yearly games. DLC. We blow out this world.
Yeah.
You can buy a new world to go see. You can buy
new island or
You can
something.
buy a
It's
new
gonna become
island.
a game as a service.
Yeah. Do you think that could work for Pokemon?
I think it definitely could. I don't think it's going to happen.
What's
but,
going to happen?
I think that first Switch Pokemon game is going to feel very familiar. I think the creating the HUD and the battle system to welcome more space, being on like a widescreen instead of just like specifically like locked into the handheld, not doing it on split screen, like having that bigger of a perspective to view the world and characters running around. I think just the achievement of translating it to that system is going to be a big enough hurdle that I don't think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be way too scary to just completely reinvent the wheel. And even seeing the success, even the very beginning of this year, that first day that they saw those Zelda sales, I think it was probably way too late in development of that game to like make big drastic changes.
That's what it seems like, man. Yeah.
Kyle,
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that likes Pokemon more than you.
Yeah.
So you're going to speak on behalf of the entire fan base right now.
Okay.
Jeez.
High stakes.
Now
Would-
we're talking dangerous.
The Pokemon
Would
fan base
you-
loves it when I do this. Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
rather have Pokemon every year like it's going? Or would you rather it be like once every
the answer to this.
once every 5 years.
Yes, 5 years.
5 years.
Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Pokemon is Final Fantasy.
Make it an event.
Make it an event.
Yes.
Yes, Huber.
Hey.
You know what? You can do your mystery dungeons in the meantime.
Your Pokemon goes.
You can do your Pokemon Go.
No, yeah, there's your answer right there. They'll just make traditional Pokemon games for mobile phones. Like,
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh please.
Oh, yes.
I didn't want to take this there. I didn't
you
want to
go.
take this in that direction.
Too dangerous. Too dangerous.
Let's do more conjecture. I love doing blind conjecture. It's fun. This comes to us from Samuli
try.
Vuorinen. Oh wow, Damiani, he's so mean. Fellow allies, do you think we'll get through 2018 without a tease or announcement of the PlayStation 5?
Oof.
Ooh, Hubert pops his collar.
Oof.
Sweating.
Yep.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, this makes you nervous too. It's heavy.
So, I think PS5 is 2019. Personally.
So then we'll probably see some teases this year,
No,
right?
I think it's going to be the 1 year cycle like they did with PlayStation 4 will be announced in early 2019 and come out the end of 2019.
Sure.
They're just going to do that again. I get there could be maybe leaks or something
I think
over
there
the
will be
year,
leaks, yeah.
but like Sony will not they might say it's in development because it's always in development. They've said countless times there's always a new console in development.
It is in development
All
right
this,
now,
all
yeah.
the developers say that,
Yeah.
and there's always a new game in development half the time. Anyway, I just don't see. I see it coming out probably in 2019. I think people will start to. I think we'll have an indication of that based on the games that Sony announces throughout the year that are coming out this year, versus if there's like a little bit of a drought, like not as many games as this year, the previous years. Like it seems like very
2018
sparse.
is going to be a nice
Oh
year.
my God.
But yeah, you're
Shenmue.
right. If maybe at the end of 2018, it's like, wait, what's
Can I
next?
just do my prediction then?
Do your prediction.
Oh yeah, you're not going to hear anything about Final Fantasy VII remake because it's not coming out on PS4. It's being pushed to PS5, and it's going to be a launch title for PS5.
Too rude.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 is this year. And
Kingdom Hearts 3 is this year.
2018 is ready on the trailer.
Okay.
It'll be late this year.
They said it.
And
Yep.
and Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 will be on PlayStation 5 as a launch title fall of 2019.
What about Shenmue 3?
Shenmue 3 is not happening on PlayStation 4, Huber.
You need the power of the PlayStation 5
It is though.
to
It is,
realize
though.
that facial
it's
animation.
Still, it's still happening on PlayStation 4, even if it's
Oh,
on PS5.
of a
it'll-
PS4
right.
version.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. But it'll come out after PS5 is out.
Damiani, I'm totally with
Years
you.
2019 Shenmue 3?
I'm totally with you on
you
2019. I don't. Huber,
I'm sorry, Huber.
The game does not look far along. Whenever we see it, it does not look far along, man.
I don't want to go there.
I'm sorry, Huber.
I don't want to go there.
I think there's another
I'll close
huge
that.
game we
It's
need to
done.
talk about.
Okay, what's that?
Death Stranding.
Yes.
I
Well,
don't
that's
see
PS5.
Sony. They said it's running on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
They specifically said that like
Yeah.
multiple times.
PS4
Like, at
Pro,
PSX,
that's
they
The
were like,
movie is
what
running
you
on
just saw was
PlayStation.
running on PlayStation 4. That was an engine.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if they start talking about the PlayStation 5 before we get Death Stranding.
Wow.
I think that's weird to be like, yeah, look at this amazing game on PlayStation 4, but hey, a couple months after that, there's gonna be a brand new console.
So you're thinking 2020?
I think at least give us a date. At least we'll have that date for or a sharper window of when we can expect Death Stranding before they really start pimping up this whole new console.
So Jones, here's the thing though: is Metal Gear Solid 5. Ground Zeroes, I remember this launching around the time of the PlayStation 4. It ran on past consoles, but it ran so well on the new consoles, doing that 60 frames per second because they built it for last-gen consoles. And it made me so mad. Remember, we called it compromised and everything?
Holding back.
Yes.
Compromised.
However, I think Death Stranding is going to chunk on PS4, and it is going to run so well on PlayStation 5.
I'm sorry, Kojima is this game. He screams ambition.
Yeah.
Like in the technical
Yes.
department.
It is not going to run well on PS4.
I think that's why we're not seeing like detailed gameplay yet because they're trying to like make it run like really well, like action sequence gameplay on that system, and it's probably like, yeah, this is running at like 15 frames right now on PlayStation 4 Pro. We need something more powerful, guys.
Do you think Death Stranding is driving the development of PS5? Like Kojima is in the driver's seat with Cerny for PS5
Cerny's
specs.
on the team.
Yeah.
Cerny's actually on the team.
Yeah.
I think he's a supervisor or consultant or something like that. He's on that team.
So
And they
legit.
all love the Decima engine.
Yeah.
Like Sony in-house. It's not Guerrilla Games.
What about
Decima
him?
engine.
It's Decima engine.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that's like technically Sony's property.
It's
Even though they're, like,
Guerrilla
they're-
Games made it. Guerrilla Games designed that, made it, but Sony gets all that sweet kickback.
Yeah, because like they gave
own Guerrilla,
basically, but I mean, Kojima made it sound like they gave them the engine, like nice, the code and stuff as like a present. Like they didn't have to. And I was like, couldn't Sony just said give it to him? Like, you know.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
Sony
it might
could
have
have-
upset some people, but
So it's still a sign of respect.
They gave it to him even before he chose it. It was
Okay,
the way that's
nice.
the meaning of that story is just like, yeah, you know what, just take it. Just
I
take it.
wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
I definitely think PS4 is in 2019.
I'm surprised.
2 full years
So,
from
Jones,
now.
do you think
'Cause
2020?
we're in that.
That'd be
I would be
7
surprised if
years
2019.
after.
I just
Okay.
don't want them. I just don't want them to confuse that message. I don't want them getting me anticipating the PlayStation 5, but then make it unclear
years.
what console Death Stranding is really being built
Sure.
for. Like
So
that
E3
seems weird.
2018 should not mention the PlayStation 5. We all agree on that.
No, shouldn't.
2018 should list like.
No.
There's so many amazing games. God of
Yeah.
War's coming.
Spider-Man.
We got Devil May
Spider-Man's
Cry
coming.
5.
Like
Yeah, Devil May
Last
Cry
of Us
5.
Part 2.
Yes.
Whatever the hell From Software's doing. Like there's just there's
Yeah.
so many big
That
hits
new
coming to
From
the
Software
PlayStation
game's
4 next
definitely
year.
PS4.
Yeah.
I don't think they need it.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of
PS4,
Tsushima. Let's just
100%.
cash in all those checks,
But
baby.
like a lot of these games are either known or rumored. I think at their E3 2018 there might not be a lot of like new announcements.
That's fine.
I think that'll be my sign when it's like a very light E3 again, or it's like
Yes.
future announcements, like real like no dates. I'm like, okay, and it's like CG trailers. I'm like,
You're holding off.
there we go.
You're holding off.
No real game announcements with like gameplay or anything like that. I'm like, it's the time has come.
And that's what a rumor said. That's why they saved Devil May Cry 5 for E3. Is like they're looking at E3 and like, what do we have? Oh, we should take Devil May Cry 5.
Because yeah, what if they started shifting development to PS5? Like
Yep.
shit, we can't talk about this crap. So
Nah.
like we have to have stuff we can show and not show, not let people guess.
Obviously, that stuff is very fun to talk about. We don't know.
Yeah, I
don't
love
know,
this
but, yeah.
hypothetical world. It's so fun. But the real world Shenmue will come out by end of next year on PS4.
All right, this game will test your knowledge.
Oh, here we go.
Quanto
I want to
Games.
eat your brain and steal your knowledge. Sorry.
What is that?
What is that?
Planet Terror.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I want to steal
Syndrome
you.
now.
Hello, allies. Here's a game. Will you be able to guess how many games there is in this series? We are counting the main series and the spin-offs if the title of the series is included in the name.
Got it.
All
Wait,
platforms included.
One more time.
Sure.
much everything.
So let's say I have a game called Huber Syndrome.
Okay.
And I have a mobile, it includes mobile as well. I make a mobile game called Galactic Huber Syndrome. That counts.
Okay.
We are not counting the remasters or DLC, and the games have to be released.
Okay.
Okay.
Yo, Galactic Huber Syndrome, though, man. That's a pitch right there.
Jeez.
Okay, I'll write some
Nice.
stuff
Huber
down.
Syndrome goes west.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for.
MTX. Let's figure this
For
out.
Westworld, baby.
The way this game was designed as sent was I'd give you multiple choice. I'm more curious just to see who's closest.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Uncharted. How many games?
8.
Huber.
One.
Don't count. Huber, go.
DLC doesn't count again.
6.
Oh,
I'm counting Lost Legacy.
We're not allowed to count in our heads or anything like that.
Go. Give me an answer.
Oh wait, I'm counting.
Does I have Indra count?
I don't know what that is. That's a card game? I think that would count.
7.
Based on those parameters.
7.
All right.
Damiani?
You took my answer.
It's 8. Jones nailed it right off the bat.
What was the other one?
Boom!
Oh,
I
Jones.
don't think they have the
4.
I came up with that real fast.
That was so
and Huber
fast.
counted and got it wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, what? What am I forgetting?
All right, so let's actually figure this out because I'm just going based off this person's word.
1, 2, 3, 4 PSP. That's 5.
Yep.
PSP. You mean
Vita. Vita, because you used the
Or
touchpad.
Vita.
One abyss.
Yeah.
Lost Legacy.
Yep.
I have Indra.
Which is the card game?
Yeah.
Must be some mobile game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There must be some mobile game.
No clue.
No clue. 8. Got to take the word for it.
Wow.
Let's go wiki it.
Command and Conquer.
Holy crap.
Go.
11.
Damiani?
9.
9 is correct.
Nice.
Hail Mary, baby.
Bring it
Love
back.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
Oddworld.
4?
4.
6.
The answer is 7. Damiani takes that one.
7.
A lot of
Because
Oddworld
they remade.
games.
They
Whoa.
No remakes.
No. They like reintroduced the series.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. like reboot or whatever you want to
Oh,
call it.
I forgot like the weird one where you're the guy, the Western one.
Stranger's Wrath. I
Yeah,
think?
Stranger's Wrath. Yeah. Halo.
Holy crap!
12.
11.
15.
10. Huber wins.
Jeez, it's one high.
10 Halo games. Not that many actually. I guess you were all thinking pretty high.
Yeah.
A couple of real-time strategy games, some weird stuff. Okay, Metal Gear.
14. Well, it's more than that. Like 20-something.
11.
Can I start listing them?
Nope.
Wow.
No.
Go.
Okay.
Come on, Damiani,
Go.
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 No.
Go,
I
that's not how
got
this
'em in
game
my
goes.
head.
Yeah, you pressure me with
Jones,
Uncharted.
did you want to redo
You gotta
yours?
stop
Go.
this,
Yeah,
Kyle.
go.
You
Go.
gotta-
You stick with 14?
Kyle,
It's
Kyle
part of the
needs to
game.
stop this rule, like pressuring.
It's part of the game. A lightning round.
Yeah.
It's like Acid 1 and 2. There's
So
a
you
lot.
don't. Do you
It's your
count
gut-
Twin Snakes?
You gotta have
as
your
different?
gut
Do you
reaction.
count Twin Snakes as a remaster, or do you count
No,
it
it's
as
a new
completely
game.
different
That's
game?
another
a
game.
brand new game.
Brand new game.
I'm looking at this number. I think that person counts it as a new game.
It was like 18.
Go.
18 maybe.
Go.
Go.
Jones wins. It's 18.
Yay!
Kirby.
I haven't done counting, but okay.
Jones nailed it.
20?
Kirby.
31.
Damiani. Kirby.
23.
28. Hubert takes that one.
Ooh.
So many
Nice.
Kirby.
28.
28 Kirby games.
Come on.
There were 2 this year. You know, it's just too many. Spyro the Dragon.
6.
9.
7.
Do you count?
17. Jones takes it. There's Game Boy Advance games for
Oh,
Skylanders.
Skylanders,
dear Lord,
Yes.
yes. I forgot about this.
Oh, and Skylanders.
count
At least the
Sky-
first one. At
Yeah,
least the first
Sneaky
one is.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes.
Skylanders 2 did not have Spyro's name in it. I think it was just the first one.
Yeah.
Bad Boys.
3.
Damiani.
4.
1.
Damn. That's pretty good.
Well
That
done.
was
Well
nice.
done.
That was nice.
Well done.
I approve
No
of that.
mobile game for Bad Boys. How about that?
Finally, this will not be easy. Final
knew that was
Fantasy.
coming.
Yep.
Okay.
Final Fantasy. How many?
110.
Nope. Not that much.
42.
15 mainline games.
Surprise Resident Evil
8
wasn't
Crystal
on there.
Chronicle games.
Resident Evil
You
has
can't.
a
We're
lot
counting
of
Crystal
games.
Chronicles, right?
We're counting. That's in the title.
23.
I wonder how many
Do you
Resident
count
Evils
Brave Exvius?
7
Or
has like
Mobius?
12 alone.
Mobius, Brave Exvius.
I'm not even kidding. I wish I was kidding.
And you don't no re-release like Final Fantasy 4 Advance doesn't get like Final Fantasy 4 DS count.
Yeah, I would definitely
Yeah,
count
definitely
that.
count that.
Like 6 advance, no.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go safe. Say 50.
60. You took it. You took that one, Damiani. Jones went a little too high.
Yeah.
It was over 100. Star Wars was over 100. I remember we did one.
Star
I remember we
Wars,
did one
Star
retro where I
Wars.
looked back and counted them.
You
and it was
said
like
Star
they're over
Wars.
100.
There's got to be like the most
Yeah.
Star Wars game of any series.
Very fun game. Love and respect. Aurelian. Thank you, Aurelian.
I'm going to go home and immediately count how many Resident Evils there are.
Sure.
Have that number locked in there.
Yeah. First person shooter on
Yeah.
a PlayStation 1, dude. I had no idea that game existed.
Survivor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Arc.
Jump and Flash, great first person shooter.
That'll
PS1.
conclude Love and Respect. It's now time for Ore Wars. The final Ore Wars.
Oof.
This is it.
Too soon.
What's up, boys? So what do you guys want to do today? Dude, you want to go crash the mall? Nice. Okay. Uh-huh. Life's like this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's the Ore Wars.
Or Wars.
The Ore Wars is a segment in which I present the panel with 3 options.
Was that Mallrats?
I don't know what that was.
Is that from Mallrats?
I got no information there.
All American Rejects.
I'm lost.
Wait, and it,
Everything
Ore
is-
Wars is it like an ore?
No, like or this or that.
This or that.
that.
Ore Wars.
Okay.
This all ties in.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Oreo.
I present the panelists with 3 sets of options. They must make their pick and explain why. The panelist with the best picks and reasoning wins. Michael Damiani, you will go first.
Cool.
Ken Levine's new game announcement or Rocksteady's new game announcement?
Rocksteady's game announcement. Because screw Ken Levine.
Starting off strong. Whoa. Michael Huber, Ken Levine's new game announcement or Rocksteady's new game announcement?
Rocksteady's new game announcement because Batman. same.
Brendan Jones?
Rocksteady because they earned it.
Ooh. Whoa. See, that's how you say screw Ken Levine without saying screw Ken Levine. Like that. Michael
I
Huber,
like Ken Levine.
you'll start this one. Yeah, I know. Like,
He just shuttered. It resulted in shuttering his studio. That's cool.
wow. Damiani holds a grudge. Michael Huber.
I don't hold a grudge. Just pointing something out.
Star Wars Episode 8 criticisms. Or Breath of the Wild goatee fatigue.
Breath of the Wild, goatee fatigue, because it's goatee.
Okay. Brendan Jones?
Star Wars Episode 8 criticisms. Kill your babies.
Ooh. Michael Damiani.
Star Wars Episode 8 fan criticisms.
Why?
Midichlorians.
Whoa, deep.
But
Lot
they're
going on
not-
there. Lot
they're not
going on
part
there.
of- All right. Brendan Jones.
I got that loud and clear over here.
Okay. Last options. Crash Bandicoot's girlfriend. Or Prompto.
Or who?
Prompto.
Oh, prompted.
Crash Bandicoot's girlfriend.
Why?
Enough said.
Michael Damiani. Crash Bandicoot's girlfriend or Prompto.
Prompto, best boy.
Michael Huber. Crash Bandicoot's girlfriend or Prompto.
Prompto, dude. Just hanging with the bros.
Okay. All right. Now I must consider what everyone picked and your reasoning. Huber, you know I like hanging with the bros. You know that's good stuff. But you said because of Batman we went to Rocksteady, and we don't know if it's Batman.
No, because I was saying because the legacy, the pedigree.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You got it. You win the Orwell.
Oh, I just gave it up.
Yes,
I just
John,
handed
we
it
could've done
over.
you. Yep. Because you know I don't accept screw Ken Levine. What a thing to say.
Jeez.
Not on this podcast.
Yo,
Wow.
Yes.
Red card.
Ken Levine apologist over here?
Yes.
Okay.
Red card.
Okay.
Like you know how I feel about BioShock, but I still would
Yeah,
never say
like-
screw Ken Levine.
Bioshock.
Too late.
Should have said Bioshock.
Too late.
It's okay.
Kyle Damiani was joking.
I should have said
Were
Beyond.
you joking?
I couldn't think of. I couldn't. Yeah, I was totally
I don't
joking.
feel good with somebody saying those
Oh,
words. on the
100%. I was
podcast.
just trying to be edgy.
Okay,
I literally thought what was
Which is-
100%.
What is
the-
desperate with these wars,
I know,
Kyle?
I know
what
the
is
Orwell's-
the edgiest, not really will get us in trouble thing I can say
Yes.
right now on this?
Okay, I get
because I
that.
couldn't think of something clever for Rocksteady, and then after I said it, I was like, I should have said because they're gonna go beyond.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said. I couldn't think of it in time.
Would have been good.
Oh, Batman Beyond. I see what you're doing there.
See?
Yeah.
I couldn't think of that.
But no, when you're in the
I
Or
know,
Wars.
I know.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Or Wars.
We're so ready.
The sea things, man.
Yeah. This concludes the Or Wars.
Jones, would you rather have a Rocksteady Justice League game?
Michael Huber.
Excuse me, Huber. Huber.
me, Michael Huber.
Whoa, slow down, man. Slow down.
I'm about to conclude the Or Wars.
Whoa, easy, slow your roll, man.
Oh, excuse me, Michael Huber. What's up, boys? So what do you guys want to do today? You want to go crash the mall? Nice. Okay. Uh-huh. Life's like this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's the
Or Wars.
Thank goodness that's the last one. Thank goodness. Next week's podcast, we're going back to bets. Bets are back next week.
Bets are back.
Bossman throwing his own hurdles in front of them and
know,
cackling as he collapses over them, flailing.
I think I fell over.
Grabs another hurdle and just tosses it on the track.
We'll get into our goals. I think I fell over in this podcast.
Oh.
Wowee.
I was gonna ask if Jones would rather have a Rocksteady Justice League game or a Rocksteady Batman Beyond game.
Easy.
Justice League.
Whoa.
Wow.
No.
Not easy.
No.
Wow.
Batman Beyond.
Spread your wings and fly, Rocksteady. Fly!
Justice League is flying?
Because you know what I don't get in a Batman Beyond game?
No.
The Flash.
The Flash.
And I would love
Aquaman.
a Flash
You're not
video
ready
game.
for the
Aquaman,
Flash.
dude.
Sure, great,
Underwater?
great. I'm dying for a modern gen Flash game. That'd be so great. To
Jones,
control him. Oh,
yeah, I think
In
you
this
can't
gen,
make. I think you
Rocksteady
can't make a
Flash.
city. You can't make a city game with the Flash.
challenge accepted.
Wow.
Flash is a tough nut
Jones
to crack.
is
Yeah.
working at Rocksteady now.
It's like
Yeah,
Sonic,
Jones-
dude.
Yep.
Sonic should make the Sonic team should do a Flash game.
Yeah, Jones, I think we got to take Flash into a closed scenario. We got to take him into a specific day, Metal Gear Solid style. Flash, you have one night to fix this issue. I think that's what you do with the Flash.
Sure. We'll see.
All right, okay. It's film
It's gonna be
confident.
all quick time events.
It is the end of the podcast. Wow, we made it. Let's talk about patreon.com/easyallies. That is how we exist, the Easy Allies. And Easy Allies is not just the 4 of us, it's 9 people. 9 people who make podcasts, make videos, make streams, make dreams. We make so many dreams. As you've heard in this podcast, we like to dream big.
Oh, yeah.
Even when Game Freak can't possibly make the Pokemon game I want, I still want it. If you would like to see what we do and how you could support us, please check out patreon.com/easyallies. In this particular case for this podcast, if you give $5 or more a month, you get this podcast on Wednesdays instead of Fridays, and you get the ability to submit love and respect questions and games and topics to Love and Respect. That's where I draw those from. And there's plenty of other benefits above and beyond that. Cool. That's it. Damiani, how'd you do on your goal? What was your goal this week?
Not to mention Nintendo's Toys to Life product name.
You did it. I did not hear a peep
nice.
about
He
Amiibo.
didn't even mention it after the fact when describing what his goal was.
Yes.
Props.
That is pro. That's a professional move. Michael Huber, how'd you do on your goal
I
this
finished
week?
my fluids.
Yeah.
Nice.
Both. You finished a bottle of water. Well,
That
there's still a
Doesn't
sip.
count.
Let's see it.
Doesn't
Let's see it. Okay. All right. Finished a whole bottle of water and some yellow tea that looked intense.
it was intense.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right.
Okay.
I need to sleep.
Sure.
Yeah.
As we all do, for sure.
Yeah.
Brandon Jones, what was your goal?
I wished everybody Happy New Year.
When did that happen?
I did it at some point.
Mug racing.
Something happened. There was some funny
There was
moment.
like
I
an
decided to
interruption,
drop it
he
in.
just did happy.
Yeah, I did not even realize
Not
that you
very
had
astute,
a
Kyle
hidden
Lossman.
intent behind that. Yeah, you're right. I'm not very astute. My goal was not to fall over. I fell right over. I could not get through that song. That's too funny to me. It's just like, it's sad when I have an idea that I think is funny. Nobody cracks me up worse than I do myself. It's sad. It's not a good attribute.
Painful to watch.
It's obviously painful to watch.
I love it.
It's my goal for 2018 is like, stop it, Kyle. You're not that funny. Okay.
What do you want? Rocksteady, Batman Beyond, or for Kyle to knock it off?
Yeah. Jones, I feel bad I never gave Ore Wars to you. Did you win one Ore Wars?
I did. I think I won the first one.
Oh,
I won
okay.
one of them.
Okay,
I
all right.
got an Order War win. Yeah.
Okay. You did some good stuff in Ore Wars. Michael Huber takes it, though. You win the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get to sign off with your trademark sign off, but before that, you also get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, just want to state about the year 2017, because this is it. We won't see anybody again until 2018.
That is so high stakes.
Yeah.
Can we spread it out?
Nope.
That's not the way the rules go. Yep.
All right. I'm Michael P. Huber on Twitter. The video I would like to promote is the Star Wars spoiler mode.
Sure.
Check that out.
Brad did that last week.
Yep. We're going to double dip.
It's still good.
It's still good.
Should I watch it a second time?
Watch it a second time. You'll find some hidden nuggets.
Okay.
You watch it with a new perspective.
Okay.
Um,
The final word of 2017.
Final word. Sonic Unleashed is pretty all right. Yeah. And, it's the holidays. Just hang out with your family, play a lot of video games, and just relax and soak it in.
I am enjoying these microtransactions. The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. The Cartridge Club, Brent Klaus, Critical Reviews, Ebb Software, L. Fennis, Hogue Law, I. Keyless, Jigarbov Productions, Jojo Dentco, Mango, Sweet Justice, James Thomas, Greg Kettering, MC Griffin, Nick, Walker Hope, Sam G., Cameron Hendry, Will Schmuck, Michael Kozachenko, Gabriel Heilborn, Professor Metal Gear, Bradley Spees, Zachary Wingate, John Tyson, Ken Layer, Beaten Down Bryant, Silent Consonant, Andrew Reif, Robin, Sigma, Dan Sebring, Tim O'Keefe, Nick Owens, Robert Stoffel, Jonathan and Amy Alconis, Shima Ramsey, Caleb Aranda, Corey Jackson, Richard Smuts, Jan, Jake Musser, Anti-Ataraxia, Richard G. Flowers, Yo Butts, Michael Bisegli, Caden Geist, Demos Clay, Chum Nguyen, Hope, Dave Red, Thomas Wigginton Jr., Bruce Weingart, Neil Bruce, Dear, Jared Reif, Marius Smith, Matthew Pauling, Gino A. Leet, Carl Williams, Brian Young, Jason A. Sackle, Candy Coated Thorns, 44 Stars, G. Levin, Charles Anthony Iapicino, G. Ken, Hitman 47, Ryan Anderson, Jean-Philippe Legacy, Colt Doss, Paul Nolson, Cody Harden, Jay Shee, Marcel Froelich, Phoenix Doss, Akira Sendo, Lee Young, Andrew Kidd, Thomas Gonzalez, Peter Davis, Hudson Bilbrey, Rack, Brad Lohman, Malphalax, Ian Santa Anna, Tim Strothman, Caleb Crawford, DRD 7-14, Blue Suitor, Todd Yurkovic, Joe Burns, Patrick Chong, Sergio Ruben Hernandez Gallegos, Stephen Last, Ahmad Naki, Suiko Shining Force 2, Jesse Vitelli, The Banana Forklift Killer, Oh Yes, Cool Great, Joaquin Morovuo, Gustav Strombaum, Kelvin Hartanto, Marcel Markov, Mark J. Betters II, Nefertiti Jenkins, David Wen, Oni Blackmage, Luke Arnold, Matthew Holcomb, Daryl Schramm, Brent Phillips, Leaf Johnson, Eduardo Ortiz, Catherine Lai, Gary James, Kit Snow, Ian Bradburn, Robert Crouch, Mikhail Aniel, Sean German Efficiency Clinton, Sven von Brand, Ulf himself, Trenton Robison, Matthew Robles, John Prey, By Manis, V8 Dave, Nasser, Ritz 1906, Fabian Schuster, The Solar Sailor, Luis Ibarra, Tony Knox, C-Note 51, Isun Chor, Forrest, Caleb Ledoux, Mike Hook 1, Thomas Einsporn, Bry Guy, Jamie Jackman, Xylo Wolfbane, Quick Scares, Alexander Schiller, The Classiest Hobo, Captain Fancy Pants, Zinterax, Modren, Paul Bishop, Travis Miosi, Trey Whetstone, Adam Damond, Sean Mackey, Yasser Al-Husseini, Leroy Anderson, Jonas Andreas Sibison, Reed Johnson, Manuel Thomas, Peter Nguyen, Luke Bennett, Adam Sharonbrock, Not Jack, Kurzistav Rogowski, Kevin McMaster, Allison Burt, Anna Lencaster, Jenny Markula, Bjornar Haraldsvik, Sean De Almeida, Christopher Sleep, Saturn, Jacob Whittington, Charlie, Wouter DeHaze, Michael Favacci, Matthew Holmes, Eric Maynard, Fabian Winkler, Cartridge Brothers, Bernardo Del Castillo, Leon Keys, Mugen Himura, Raymond Lee, Yasser Kerbushi, Clay Roberts, Todd Paxton, Faraz Rizvi, Dakota Hayes, Zoostick, Don Turner, Mumble Mumbleton, Masuki 211, Kyle Bradford, Jesse Fish, Shinobazu, Jason Joint, Edison S. Prada Jr., Alexander Breveglieri, Travis Ing, Ahmad Al-Rashed, Tuttle, Beth, Furious Action Gamer, Stuart Siddall, Joseph Caruso, Reiner Lip, Michael Shriver, G. Sith, Matt Gunther, Evan Eng, Joshua Vanswall, Eric Gustafson, Refill, Sebastian Trier, Samsis Stormbaum, Bonnie and Jason Connor, Alex AI, Jeffrey Daniel Lasley, Stephen Walther, Rock Gordon, Matt, Carlos Zuniga, Diggles, Ryan Cohen, Adam Mulaney, Link 666 Goron, Terrence Ireland, Simon Gauthier, Momo Rashid, M. Legend, Bread Roll Art, Calgareth, Eddie Reisner, Chase Caldwell, Andrew Buchter, Palkin Stirs and Stirs, Barry, Mikey Novak, Adam Henry, Beautiful Kai, Mac Jam, Ronnie Halperin, Caffeine Rage, David Kennedy, Durgesh Patel, Kenneth Procius, Mike Calvi, Sarah, Philip Stadler, Gary Fair, Anthony Daniel Galvin, Benny Samuelson, Trolls Rasmussen, Daniel Wong, Jameson Anderson, Vincent Foliat, Hutchitron, Ahab, Neobear, Tetra Ninja, Quinn Gary, Alex Glass, Junya Motomura, Mylene LaPearl Vanass, Mithers Strongbeard, Nycrypt, Mons Anderson, Elvin Skogheim, Jay Aldiar, Morgan Worth, Sam Sorensen, Matt Ferguson, Michael Tennick, William Heaney, Krister Lundmark, Chris the Pianist, Michelle Nubb, Sandra and Richard Acero, Battle Ox, David Tran, Mick Malloy, Adam Barker, Philip Klarskov Jensen, Niels Frederick Elbol, Sun Pham, Alex Monaco, Arthur Henrique Chinaglia, Nuno Amaral, Galen Moxley Haggart, Twisted Heart, David Boyarski, Rahiv Maharaj, Toasty Soul, Sean McGing, Pete Cerny, Joachim Wiederberg, Christopher Santis, Sam Handrick, Christian Hundorf, Andreas Koter, Extravaganza, Gally Gutierrez, Addison Muir, The Fatty Show, Jason Shields, Rickster EXE, Julio Ruiz, Lars Berger, Monica, Lorenzo, Remy Loisel, Jordan Kirk, Peter Shoemaker, Repas Edid, Irvin De La Torre, Cyberboa, Christophe Fatui, Azazel Valkyrie, GW Fox, Outcast Writer, Chris Bennett, Liam Ahern, Helping Leon, Jean-Sebastian B., Self-Confessed Cynic, V. Kira Ray, Tristan Howard, Jeremiah Snowden, Materia Addict, Robert I., Blaster Master, Elizabeth, Miguel Rivas, Alex Lavanier, Justin Wren, Malcolm Moschette, Adam, Cal, Joel Olson, Robert Ori Einerson, Christopher Donnelly, Matt Karwoski, Jesper Lawson, Joel Short, Marco Hernandez, Magnus Rasmussen, Clinton Hayes, Seyun Kim, Andreas Amos, Struggler, Tense George, Bunny Chen, Joey and Kate, Wavering Radiant, Raymond Chow, Caffeinade, Ian Anderson, DanPan16, Tongue Surgery, C.S. Lewis, Orogachino, Jana, Roy Sung, Kim Monk Vonderleith Hoggensen Petersen, Colin Hoylman, Reed Marlett, Shanley Ladia, Dale A. Brule, Kyle, Rerun, Arkham Fantasy, Dale Sun, Philip Higdon, James Brown, Jan Ivar Carlson, Spencer Stevens, Russell Bateman, Elliot Moscow, Daniel Fuchs, Brandon Tinney, Ivan Ponce, Christopher A. Butler, Adam Warazek, Sean Essen, Sebastian K. Urban, Marco Zanone, Alec Church, Culinary Stud, Michael Yao.